Come on. It's fast breaks. Listen. We back with another one.
Fast breaks, yeah, we coming with the takes. Never early, never late, but we always push the pace, yeah. And we really study tape, y'all just view the highlights. Man, we really watching games, yeah. You just watch from the stands. We run 3-man weeks, Paul, Dre, and Allen, yeah. Way more than a fan. We got love for the game, we don't have to pretend. Got it out the mud like you get it off the glass. I'm to run the fast break, throw me the outlet. Yeah, we got it out the mud like you get it off the glass. Time to run the fast break, throw me the outlet. We on the brink, it's fast break. We on the brink, it's fast break. Let's go.
We got some things to discuss, NBA family.
We got what? We gotta do what?
We got some things to discuss.
Yeah, what it do? Basketball world, we are back bringing that content to you. We are top 2 and not number 2. It only facts, no cap, only the truth.
Oh my
Clear
God,
out
he's
1
spitting.
second. Clear out 1 second. I gotta talk to the Fast Breaks family real quick because finally, Bro has come back to host the pod.
It's lit.
I got this one episode.
You know who it is.
This guy's a WWE fan.
That's a
It's your
fact.
boy Ro. You
That's
already
a
know.
fact.
I'm here with King Dre, PRR
Yeah.
Sports, Island the Man. This
Yo.
is Fast Breaks. I've been waiting out loud.
Yo. Hey, the
Back
Fast Break
and
theme song is
forth.
still hitting. Just so
That's a
y'all know.
fact. People,
Fire.
I just want to know.
Yes.
Hey. Yeah, that's a fact.
Produce. That's
Yeah.
what I want.
You
Produce.
see what's going on.
Fact.
Upgrades.
Listen, I got people that don't know basketball that are listening to our podcast and be like, "Yo, by the way, your song, fire."
I'm
So,
telling
Like,
you.
yeah, but do you
Hey,
listen?
bro, we
Listen
bring
to
that
the whole
up.
episode. That's it's all. It only gets better from there.
You about to put this on streaming services, man.
We gotta
Yeah.
check that out. I need some numbers.
That's a fact.
I need some numbers.
This is gonna be
All
on.
right.
If it still existed, this would be on 106 in Park. Come on.
It does not even, you can't be serious. It's been going for like over 10 years now.
I said if it still existed, didn't I? I said if it still existed, didn't
Brother, we will be 15 years old.
Yo, but tell me you didn't just get a wave of nostalgia. Good times. Come on,
A
man.
little bit.
Sure.
A little bit. How
Come
we
on,
feeling
come
this
on,
week,
man.
fellas? How was y'all week? Talk to me. It's been a minute.
Bro, this has been one of the most relaxed weeks at work I've had in a very long time. And now I'm not even kidding. This has probably been one of the better career weeks of my life. So good, just a good week.
Right. Yeah,
Boy,
busy
cheesing.
week.
How good of a week was it?
Bro, I got a judge to overturn a faulty decision, her own faulty decision, and she had to admit on the record that she was wrong.
You moved to re-argue?
I did it as an order to show cause because we had an emergency situation.
Very interesting. Alan, how about you? I think you have news for the family, no?
He does. I mean, he's not.
Yeah, I moved to Houston.
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
You still in Vegas?
Nah.
Listen to me with the nostalgia day.
I just moved to a new building. It's cool, and I'm in the 6th borough now, Jersey City. So it's lit out
The
here.
6th borough is
The
crazy.
6th borough. That's not disrespectful to Jersey. You got to attach yourself.
Nah,
You got to attach yourself to New York like
Nah. I'm joking.
That's
I'm
mad
joking. My
funny.
commute is so easy, bro. I just like 10 minutes from the city. That's why I said that. So it's
Is
lit.
it?
Yeah, it's like 10 minutes from the
That's-
city. It's
That's
crazy.
kind of crazy.
Oh, how we living, brother?
I'm chilling, man. I was off this week, so I'm chilling.
Oh,
That's
true.
beautiful. Oh, you had winter break.
That's
Mhm.
offending. That's
Wait a
offending.
second. You should have been playing
That's
more
correct.
2K. What's going on?
I
You better
was.
be a
I
99
actually
right now.
was.
Yeah, if
Nah,
you're
you
not
better
a
be a
93,
99.
if you're not a
You're
93,
not, forget
for sure.
90. Forget
I'm 80,
93.
I'm 86.
99.
You're
You're a what?
I'm not
You're a
paying
what?
money to get to 99.
Yo, Paul.
I don't
Yo,
play
we're
2K
starting. No,
for
no,
a
no.
living.
Fast breaks
I'm not
family.
doing that.
Fast break. No.
Put your
Fast
pride
breaks
aside.
family.
Let us
Fast
buy
breaks
you the
family.
95.
No,
Fast breaks.
no,
Fast breaks
Please,
family.
please,
We are
no.
starting a
Please let us do
GoFundMe.
it.
no.
We are
For us.
starting a
It's
No,
for us.
if I end
GoFundMe.
the 2K
We're
league,
starting
I
a
will get to 99
GoFundMe
eventually.
to get
Relax.
Paul to
We're trying to
99
go pro-am. We're trying to
for
go
a
pro-am.
measly
You can go prime right
$1
now.
a day.
Not
You
with no
can help
80.
this brother get to
I'm an
99
86. I'm a nice
for
86.
$1 a day.
Oh my
It doesn't
God,
call family. Fast breaks family. We're calling on you. Think of the more responsibility you have for a measly $1 a day. You can help Paul Robinson get to 99. You can do it.
In the arms of
This is crazy. This is what we do for 2K. Oh my god.
Yo, bro, I can't deal with you, bro.
This is what we're doing. Oh my god.
I love this show. I love this
Yo.
show.
Look, you all let 2K control, man. Listen,
That's
man.
crazy. He said
I've
y'all
already
let
said on the
2K.
spot, no one with a full-time job plays more 2K to me. I love it.
That's really crazy because he might
I
be
love
right.
the game. I love the game. I'll be on some straight murder shit, eh? I'm showing
this
my
man
age,
is on
aren't
mute.
I? I'm showing my age.
This man is on
Children
mute.
out there, go watch the movie Juice.
Good recommendation.
Learn something about some culture. Anyway, obviously a big weekend for the NBA just passed. It was All-Star weekend. We don't have to get into the game and the competitions and all that. I think, there's plenty of platforms out there that have covered that and have made a large public cry for the players to find a way to make it more competitive. My thing,
Nothing to talk about.
first off, one thing I want to say is two things. Shout out to Sabrina making history, making her story, doing a great.
Phenomenal. And I know you're up on her, but a lot of people aren't. You guys need to watch more WNBA basketball. Sabrina is really her. Really her.
I think in an era where mainstream basketball fans are starting to associate, and I think this is another part of something we learned from the All-Star break. I believe that shooting has become the premier skill.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the premier, most marketable skill in the NBA. I think the three-point contest was the only event that people really cared about. It was the only event that players seemed to really try at, because I think shooting is where reputations are made now and where brands and everything are sort of hitched to. It's the premier skill in the NBA. And if shooting is the premier skill in basketball, then undoubtedly women are some of the best players on earth. They always were, but I think it'll be more easily recognizable now that people rate shooting so much, that when they see the way these women shoot the basketball, they have to respect the skill. They have to respect the work that was put in. They have to respect the IQ. And there's no one in the world as a woman doing it better than Sabrina Ionescu right now. Coming off a year. That? Yes. And for those of y'all, like Trey said, who didn't know who needs to be put up on Sabrina, last year, she set the women's record in threes made in a season. She was at like 150. Mind you, I know Steph is at like 400 or whatever, but when he first set the record, it was like 200. And they play 8 less minutes and 40 less games. So she put in 100 threes in 40 games. You do the math of what her 81 game rate would be. Like 150 in 40 games, brother. Also, she set the record in any three-point competition ever. I don't want to hear nothing about a line or distance. In any three-point competition ever at the professional level, she has the record at 37. Steph ain't done it. 38, sorry. Steph ain't done it. Jason Capono ain't done it. None of your faves have ever hit that many shots off the rack with 60 seconds. Okay, so those of y'all that were intrigued by her performance this past Saturday, you should all choose to be Liberty fans. If there's going to be a bum rush of WNBA fans, pull up to the Liberty, the best basketball team in New York City.
That's not true anymore.
Really
bro.
crazy.
That's not
really
true anymore.
crazy.
You can't jack that. You can't jack that.
I think they have a better record than the Knicks right
now. Forget record. When's the last time the Knicks went to the finals?
Okay. All right. That's
He's
fair.
not wrong.
That's fair.
He's not wrong, bro.
Barclays was seeing finals basketball last summer, brother. I was there, right there.
The Nets.
Road to
It certainly wasn't
seats
Nets.
1, 2, and 3. Come see me when y'all. Hey, Fast Breaks Pod. We could do a meetup during Liberty games this summer. See me.
I would love that. Actually,
It's an idea.
15 seats 1, 2, and 3. Let's get it.
It's an idea.
It's a great idea. It's a great idea.
Yeah, y'all should come through.
Yo, let's try to get an interview with Sabrina afterwards.
I mean, y'all know I'm tight with her. Hold on, y'all know.
Hey, that's the homie. That's the homie.
That's your son.
Y'all know that's my slime.
Hey,
y'all know that's my slime. We could, you know, what I'm
connections.
saying?
That's what I'm saying.
So we could do it. But I think the underlying observation that can be made about all that we feel about the All-Star game, I think there's a lot that was revealed about the social dynamic amongst the players. I think there was a lot revealed about how the NBA feels about their players. I think we talked a lot so far in our revamp about what the future of the league looks like, from drafting to, you know, who has access to the NBA, to
why did Paul set up like that?
Because he knows we're about to get into it, to eras, to who's going to be the new face. And I think we didn't even anticipate this going into All-Star Weekend, but I don't think it's appreciated enough how much of a showcase of those decisions and how the league feels about those positions in the league that the All-Star Weekend is, right? We knew that Kobe arrived when he started in an All-Star game his second year, right? We knew what Kobe's mindset was, the way he would go at Mike in All-Star games. We also learned a lot early about LeBron with some of his decision-making during his early All-Star games, right?
Speaking facts.
You know, Vince Carter arrived 2000 All-Star game, right? So the league sort of shows their positioning of players at the All-Star game, but also players sort of announce themselves or begin to assert where they see themselves at All-Star Weekend, because that's where competition is. That's where you get to go against all the premier players in the league. I don't know if either of those things happened this weekend. And in the same breath, both those parties, the NBA and the players, I think made themselves very clear about certain things this weekend. But I'm going to turn it to you all. What do you think this year's All-Star Game weekend revealed about the hierarchy of the NBA from both player perspective and league perspective?
I think there's a little cause for concern. There's a little bit of cause for concern, and I've talked about it. There is a latency problem in this league. There is a lack of effort that is so clear, and I know Paul's going to talk about it, so I'll leave it to him to talk about Luka and to talk about Jokic. But everyone's having a good time. Everyone's having fun. Everyone's just joking around, and this is practice shots, and we're not, fans are paying to be here. All right, we want to see the elevation of the game. We want to see our best stars going at it like Kobe and LeBron would. All right, there's none of that. There's nobody that's like, I'm really here to win this game. I didn't see like you said, the only real competition I saw where people were really like getting out. We have Dame talking to refs during the 3-point contest. We don't see any of that in the All-Star game. We don't see anybody taking it seriously. The dunk contest was abysmal. I forgot about the skills challenge. I'm not going to lie to you.
Jaylen Brown, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Jaylen Brown, whatever.
Yo,
afterwards,
can I just say,
I know what he was trying to do, but
no.
No.
I'm trying to say this as respectfully as possible. God bless the dead. But one, to pretend like you covered your eyes when you're on national television and we all saw you not cover your eyes.
We all saw you.
We saw you. Like in 4K, sir. But again, God bless the dead. If you're going to put your deceased man's face on the court and do a tribute dunk,
Do
You
the
better do
dunk.
something crazy.
not even that respectfully, your first attempt, you can't attempt to jump and then slip on your man's face and fall.
Wow. That was pretty crazy. You're right. You're so right about that.
I'm not gonna laugh because that's not funny.
Hey,
But that was my immediate feeling. You cannot throw your man's face on the court and then
slip.
proceed to slip on his face and fall in attempting a dunk.
No, that's not good. That's not good.
You just can't do that. And I'm saying this not to joke on you, but I'm just saying it speaks to the lack of showmanship and like rising to the occasion. Like you
There was
did
no
that
showmanship.
tribute.
Look like a
You did
gimmick.
that tribute. Yeah,
It
you
was-
made
yeah,
you made a
yeah.
tribute look gimmicky because you weren't prepared. Like
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
so you threw your man's face on the ground for like showcase efforts, but then like you weren't in that zone. Like you stepped on your man's face in front of America. And then threw us the heart and wanted us to cheer for that and celebrate your man's. Like if you're gonna use something that serious for flair, then like be serious, bro. Like I didn't like that. I just wanted to put like that was like emblematic of everything to me. I was like, come on,
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't like a
slip
single
on
thing
your
he
man's
did.
face.
I didn't like a single thing he did. There's such a level. You know what happened? And I don't know if this is what happened, but this is what I think might have happened. Jaylen Brown came into it because before he was like, I'm up there as one of the greatest in-game dunkers ever. So I'm gonna show you some.
He said that right before the competition.
He said it right before, and then he came in. He is pretty good. But it tells me the mindset. He didn't come in thinking like I have to do some creativity and be like you said, Pharaoh, be very prepared to do something. I came in. I'm the greatest. I'm one of the greatest in-game dunkers ever. I'm probably the only superstar to have done this competition in probably a decade or so. So me coming out there, what I do is going to be amazing. It's going to get the fans going, and I'm probably going to be automatic. And I just got to go out there with power. And you missed the mark. You missed the assignment completely.
Well, let me keep you right there, and I want to stay with you because let's make sure we're staying on the point, right? Like we know it was trash, but like think about, like I said, what that was emblematic of. Because think about who Jaylen Brown should be in this league. Like think about what having Jaylen Brown in the dunk contest should have meant excitement-wise. You are a superstar on the league's premier team right now, the best team in the league, an historic franchise.
Contract.
We had a Boston, and that's where I was going next. We had a Boston Celtic in the dunk contest. And you're the highest paid player in the league. Do you feel like he stepped into that contest fully cognizant of and accepting and wearing on his sleeve that context?
I don't know. If he did, he certainly didn't show it. Except to say he had the hubris for it, but the hunger wasn't there. Certainly had the hubris, but not the hunger. And it almost made it a mockery. It really did. It really did. And years ago, people would say this, and I'm going to say it to this day. I still blame LeBron James for this. I really do. I really do. He had to. No. Let me finish this. Let me just say this. MJ went into the dunk contest, won it, took it seriously. Kobe went into the dunk contest, won it, and took it seriously. LeBron James departed from that legacy and has since the league has been just unable to find somebody, a superstar, the next face of the league to do it because LeBron James set a bad example.
So, Dre, let me take that point and let me toss it to Alan.
He set a lot of bad examples.
Because what did he say, though? But I want to stay on the hierarchy angle to this, right?
Yeah.
What did he say when asked about it this year? This is one of the first times I've ever heard him directly address it in a long time. He said, it was never one of my goals.
Right, which is a big problem.
He said, coming into the league, that was never one of my goals. That was never something I dreamed about. Like I said, in years past, young players looked at All-Star games as their platform. I'm going to come both for the world, but also to their peers. Like when we all get together, I'm about to show all of you who is really that guy, either as a shooter, as a ball handler, as a dunker, or in the game as an all-around player. Right? Mike came with the big Nike back end and said, I'm about to show y'all, like, I'm the marquee guy. Like, I'm about to fly out here. Dominique thinks he's the most athletic guy in the league. No, I'm the most athletic guy in the league. Kobe, same thing. I'm coming out here as a young 18-year-old. I'm about to show y'all, like, I'm really like that. And I'm going to give character, right? Like, when he was throwing up the karate chops and stank faces, he was trying to announce himself like, no, like, I carry myself like that. I'm not some timid kid, right? Like, my favorite clip of Last Dance is when all the OGs is in that All-Star game in 2000, and he's not even in the room because it's the East room, and everyone's talking to Mike as the man, OG, and Mike brings it up first.
Yeah,
Mike's sitting there and he goes, "That little nigga kid gonna shoot all the shots, ain't he?" And they all go, "All right, good. Can we talk about it?" Because it was a conversation. Like they had to address, like, "Yo, who is this? Like, what's really good with bro?" Like, because he was coming like that. LeBron is almost admitting he came in with all the hype already. He didn't really have to announce himself. The league announced him to the world. Sports Illustrated at 16. So he never looked at the All-Star game as like a platform. He wanted to make it. He wanted to be a starter. But like he said, it was never one of my goals to be in one of the competitions or win the competitions. Like he never saw himself as needing those moments or those forms of competition to gain any clout or respect in the league. And I think that is the mentality that a lot of players have adopted. I think the part of it is like the laziness and the ducking, but I think more of it is that like players are no longer seeking respect from their peers in this format. Like they don't see this moment as a moment to distinguish themselves or to make a point or to like subliminally communicate anything amongst the pool of best players. And I wonder why that is. But Alan, how do you feel about that point? And did you see that mentality exhibited in any of the young stars today where it didn't look like they viewed this as a moment to distinguish themselves at all?
100%. They did not view that as a moment to distinguish themselves because you got people like Ant coming in talking about something. He's just going to play the whole game with his left hand.
Shooting left hand. What is this? He
didn't take the game seriously at all. And I think it's indicative of like, to answer the question literally, like what is it real about the NBA hierarchy? Y'all know how you have like old black aunties who are complaining about like a younger generation may like not know how to cook and everything. They say like we're losing recipes.
Yes.
That's what's happening in the NBA.
They're not wrong, by the way. They're not wrong, by the way, but keep going.
Talk.
There's some like disconnect going because if you think about it, like we're not that far removed from a generation.
Yeah, Paul, drop a bomb on that.
Yeah. We're losing recipes. The NBA players is losing recipes.
Yeah.
If you think about it, we're not that far removed from a generation of like recently retired players who had competitive All-Star games. The T-Max of the world, the KGs, the Starberries, Kobe. Like they was all playing competitively in those All-Star games in the early 2000s. We're not that far removed from them. So there's some type of weird Starberry. That's his name. Everybody know.
There you go.
So like there's some weird disconnect going on where like that tradition did not get passed down to like today's league. And I think, and I don't want to like put everything on him, but like the only common denominator there is LeBron, low key. So that's why like it was an interesting point to me about Pharaoh saying he came in with the hype already. He didn't really feel like he needed to do that. So maybe that's where a disconnect actually in fact happened. But players are not taking on that mantle and feeling like the All-Star game was something serious. They come in thinking it's like it's literally a break. They take it literally as All-Star break. And people like Ant, who's supposed to be the next star, who has a real good chance to be in the face of the league, instead of coming in and showing the world on the national presence that he got, that, you know, I could be that guy. He want to come in and play it as a joke. He said he came in playing as going to shoot with his left hand only going to play with his left hand, doing a skills challenge weird. Like, it was crazy.
Honestly, I'd rather almost see a 5-on-5 of the best 6 men in the league than watch that All-Star game.
They go harder at Chris Brickley's gym.
Yes, 100%.
They go harder at Rico
That's a
Hines.
fact.
At Rico Hines, Chris Brickley, the summer workouts, everything. They just go harder. They don't take it seriously. And also, I think another part of it too is because I was watching something. I forgot what it was. It may have been like Adam Silver's thing, interview on like ESPN or something on All-Star Weekend. He likened it to like the Super Bowl in the sense that like it's the one time in the NBA calendar where we all know it's gonna, like in the NBA Finals, you don't know where it's gonna be at. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Super Bowl, you know it's gonna be at. So there's like a lot of things happening that weekend. The All-Star Weekend is like a conference every year for all these like marketers, all these brands, all these players, because everyone knows where it's gonna be at years in advance. So there's a lot of preparation. So it becomes like a big like opportunity for players. That's where they could, like, a lot of them make their money. That's where you meet your brand. That's where you get brand deals. That's where you become like a national name. You're doing all these interviews and all that. I feel like nowadays they see it more like that instead of like a place to showcase your game.
Right.
You know what I mean? The NBA has become such a business and such a moneymaker and such a big money-making opportunities for the players that I think they're not even thinking about the All-Star game as like a showcase for my skills. So there's been a disconnect there.
Let me say on that though, because that's always been true. But here's the difference.
Mm.
All of that movement was tied to performance. Like you would parlay with the companies and with the brands, and you would concoct campaigns tied to performance in all-star events, right? The Nike shots with Vince, he knew he sold them on I'm about to go crazy on Saturday. And you could launch a commercial right after. Think about Beyonce. Think about the Super Bowl commercials, right? Like I'm about to drop an album right after my Super Bowl commercial, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not just parlaying at Super Bowl weekend to make a deal. No, look, let's do something in this event to turn into whatever we're trying to get to, right? Everyone used to remember how much hype they. I don't know if y'all are sneakerheads, but to my sneakerheads out there, do y'all remember growing up the hype we used to have about seeing the All-Star colorway drops?
Yeah,
like we used to be locked in. There used to be a sneaker cam on TNT, like to see what the All-Star colorway drops are, because we knew every sneaker brand was gonna run a campaign around All-Star, and those players are gonna try to show off in their new colorways. There's all these young cats dropping sneakers now. Devin Booker has a sneaker just came out. Ant just had a sneaker come out, right? And you got a new sneaker coming out at a sneaker company that admittedly is struggling in Adidas, and you're an all-star player, and you talking about I'm gonna play with my left hand, and you want us to go buy your sneakers, and you don't even drop an all-star colorway? Like what are we doing?
So 2 things, right? First thing, young LeBron didn't like expectations.
No, he did not.
So that's
he didn't like the comparisons to Michael Jordan.
No, he wanted the comparisons.
I think he directly wanted them.
Yeah, but he didn't like in the moment. He didn't like expectations. So he knew there's a chance he could lose in the dunk contest, which is why he didn't do the dunk contest. That's the first thing. The second thing, Adam Silver, you need to do something because the All-Star weekend could end up being like the Pro Bowl.
It's almost there.
It is. It's
almost there.
Sabrina and Steph staved it this year. If Sabrina and Steph didn't do that thing, that's 100% what it would have felt like this year.
The Rising Stars Challenge was the best part of the All-Star.
You know why though?
That was good.
Because they really trying to show something. When Benedict Mathurin and who did he go at?
Jaden
Ivey. When they was getting into it, that was the energy. Like, of all us young boys, like I'm about to show y'all who really is the one. Like my team is in the playoffs right now.
You at the Rising Star game can't guard me.
I'm like that. Like
hey.
and you know what? That's what it's been the last when Kyrie and Deion Waiters went at it. When Tim Hardaway Jr. and him went at like that's because and it's crazy because the guys that are in that game, some of them that are that same age who are all-stars don't have the energy because they feel like, oh, I made the all-star game, so I already proved my point.
Mm-hmm. Right.
They're not trying to come at these OGs next at all.
And see, that's the thing, right? So, listen, all I'm gonna say about that is, last year, I watched and I kind of hoped for some like competition in the All-Star.
Didn't we see Jason Tatum go crazy last year?
Come on, man. No,
but he had that energy last year.
He said, "I'm gonna go drop
enough.
52."
Karl Anthony Towns had that energy this year.
Karl Anthony Towns was different.
Yeah, I feel like Tyrese tried to come out with the energy at first, and then
he did. He scored 15.
You have to have someone to give it against, though. Like, I think if it's two, all we need is two players.
Yeah,
if there's one on each team trying to get it,
and that didn't happen.
It should have been Luka.
But see what could happen in that situation is one of the players that's not a part of that competition, that back and forth, might steal the shine because they want the MVP, like James did with Tyrese.
That's exactly what happened.
That leads to a good game.
Fucked up a bunch of shots because he's like, nah, I want this one.
Yo, but that can eventually lead to a good game because here's the thing that happens when two guys is going basically one-on-one and really getting it. Most hoopers, like your energy is gonna be like, well, I'm not about to look garbage. Like when you on the court, all it takes is one player taking it serious and going at it for everyone else to be like, well, hold on, if they going, hold on, because they really getting it now we gotta play because I'm not about to be trapped because they don't want the narrative to be like, oh, I'm the reason that they lost, or like I look crazy when my teammate is over here really getting it. Like, because then also it's a competitive juice where like if you start going at whatever, let someone else talk about your man's. Oh, he can't guard him. Hold up, what? You can't guard me. No, you know what I'm saying? Like that. Like
this is not.
That's how it used to happen. No, that's how it used to happen.
I know.
Allen Iverson would throw it off the glass and go over Tim Duncan. KG would come down like, oh, hold on, nah, Tim, we ain't going out like that. Let's bada bing bing bada boom. Nah. Then Kobe would be like, well, hold on, nah. If you, I'm nicer than like they would throw it back between each other. So it takes someone to turn it up. And I feel like no one was trying to turn it up. Like
it's because LeBron's soft, so this generation is soft.
All right,
LeBron is nah. He's the spearhead. He's the top of the. Listen,
it's not his job anymore. He's in 21. He's post to coast.
It doesn't matter. He set a bad example. He set a bad example.
Nah, because I want to get to what we do, Paul.
There's no bridge
Whose
between.
job is it now, though, Paul? I know you want to go in. Whose job is it in the NBA hierarchy now to walk in the locker room at halftime and say, all right, now let's get it now. All right, now second half, let's get it now.
Honestly, I would say Giannis. I know you
it's
might
Giannis' job.
Yeah,
it's Giannis' job. This is actually my problem with Giannis. Okay, I was about to curse. There's no reason that Giannis is not the best player in the world, and the reason actually being
say this, y'all kept
the reason actually being, and this is all love and respect. He's the second best player in the league right now because he comes out and says things like, "What am I supposed to do?" Or he doesn't do. Get out there.
He's the third.
No.
Behind Joel
and Jokic. I'm sorry, I can't. After what Giannis said and what he demonstrated last week, I can't have him in my top two, bro. I can't. You can't be a top two player. You can't be a top two player and admit to me that you don't watch basketball, bro. What?
Let me tell you, if Joel Embiid,
that's very crazy, but I really do think he's trolling. There's no way, bro.
He has to be.
He's a very straightforward person, bro.
Yeah, he's nice enough to not watch and go out there and like ball out and play good defense.
He also said he doesn't even watch film or nothing. Like that's impossible. If you gotta watch film, like you have meetings on.
They're gonna make you. They're going to make you.
Paul, respond to this. Paul, because I've heard you many years talk about Giannis is the best player. Respond to this.
Mm-hmm. I think Jokic is now though. Well, go ahead.
Giannis, the reason why his brand popped off a few years ago the way it did is because and the character that Giannis likes to assume for himself in the league right now is like, I'm of the old cloth. I don't work out with players. He gave that whole speech. I'm not, I'm not the most talented, but what people don't have over me is I'm obsessive. I work at this harder than anybody.
Are you trying to do a Giannis accent right now?
No, I'm just saying, like he tries to be that guy, right? Like the like I'm of the old ilk. He tries to hold himself out as like the highest ranking last Mamba disciple in the league, right? Like of that competitive nature.
I mean,
but this is now he's not. It's Cap, and I'm calling it right now.
He's not the highest ranking. He's not the highest ranking.
He's not a disciple. He's not. I'm taking his
card. Oh no!
I'm taking his card.
Wild. That's why
I'm taking his card. You know why?
Paul, put that on the banner.
I'm taking his card because one, it's two comments. One, when you said there is no failure,
That was crazy.
When
That was
you
crazy.
said there's no failure in sports,
Did he
that was
jack
a
he was a disciple of Kobe?
that was a strike. That was a strike on his card.
Did he even
Now,
jack
I was
that he had
like,
a card? Wait,
Yeah.
Farrell, did he jack that he had a
He
card?
did.
though?
He did.
Yes,
Nah, he did.
absolutely.
He very
Absolutely.
much did, bro.
When he said
very
there's
much
no
did.
failure in sports, that was a strike on his card. When he said, I don't watch basketball, I'm pulling it, bro. Because you don't love it. I don't see no one out there that like loves the game like that. And like wants to be like and has the competitiveness amongst the peers. Like Giannis has never called himself the best player in the world. That was a strike. You know who did this weekend?
Tatum.
It's a fact.
Your boy.
But I don't even like how he said it because he felt hesitant with it.
Because
Like,
he
he don't-
knows
like, he
he's
don't
not.
believe in
That's
it.
why.
I didn't even
He
catch
don't
the
believe
statement.
in
What
it.
did he say? What did he say exactly? I didn't catch the
Malika
statement.
Andrews put him right in the spot. He said, "Yo, who's you've mentioned in past years? You said Giannis was the best. You've given love to Jokic. Like, who do you think is the best player in the NBA right now?" He said, First he started with all love to everyone else. Before answering the question, he gave mad love to everyone else. And then
It's
he
not
goes,
natural for these niggas, man.
but you know, I would have to say, you would have to say,
No.
I would have to say myself. Like that's where I'm carrying. But you
He said it. He said it's so light skinned too.
He folded in front of Malika Andrews. He didn't really believe that.
So
That's
Paul,
a fact.
answer.
Nah,
answer-
Malika be putting people on game to
Not more than
just
Taylor
set
not
themselves
as
up.
much, yeah, not as much
Not
as
more than
Taylor, but that's
Taylor
another
Rooks.
conversation.
Taylor Rook too. Taylor.
Oh,
Yeah.
Paul, get to what the fans want to hear. We talked about young faces. We talked about Ant.
Mhm.
We know who is missing this year, who might have turned it up, and young Ja.
You want to address a
young
comment?
Ja.
Oh, Ja.
Young Ja.
Yeah,
I
Ja
will,
would have
I
turned.
will.
Do you think
Ja
so?
would've
Do you
turned
think
up.
so? I don't know
Ja
about
would have
that.
turned it up. Ja
High
would have
key.
turned it up.
Ja
Maybe.
would have.
Because Ja is actually like that, and Ja is actually a disciple, and we don't talk about it enough. He has
I
Kobe
don't
stuff
know.
tatted on his back. Ja is like that. He gets testy with his peers. He doesn't get testy for the camera. He doesn't get testy. He came in the interview and everyone clowns him for the we are in the West, but I liked that energy.
I did like that energy. You're right. But I
Right?
also specifically remember him talking about the dunk. I mean, I know it's not the All-Star game, but he talked about the dunk contest.
Yes,
It was just like, no, but didn't he say like it's not really a goal of mine? Like if I want to do it, I'll do it. Or am I thinking somebody else?
I think that
might
was
be getting
Zion.
confused.
I think
Zion,
that was
maybe.
Zion.
Zion
Ja-
said that.
Ja teased
would
it
have
after
turned
the
it up.
no, yeah.
Okay,
Ja-
well, I might be getting confused.
Ja is
Man.
testy with his peers. He
Ja's
specifically
messing the
likes
money
to
up.
go at his peers, and we needed more of that energy, right? But so Ja wasn't there, and Jokic, Giannis, Luka. That's how y'all. That's who y'all said could be the face of the league, right? That's who y'all said was in the MVP conversations, right? Paul, what did they show us about that class of NBA players to All-Star Weekend this year?
Man,
What did they show us?
That they don't care about the brand. They don't care about the NBA. They like
You
basketball.
think?
They're there.
What?
Hold
It's
on,
a
let
job.
him
It's a
let him
job.
cook. Let him cook.
Yeah.
That's
Go
a
for it,
job.
go for it,
You
go
know
for
what I
it.
mean? My thing is this, right? I don't want to be irrationally biased and act like these guys are not as great as they are, but as great as they are, they kind of hold the league back in a way with their lack of like passion and drive for the brand. And it holds the league back to an extent. Like, and the only thing that could save it in a way is if a guy like Jokic wins multiple chips, where he's just so great, where it's like, man, we gotta watch the Nuggets because this guy and this team is different. Kind of like the Warriors and Stephen Curry. So it has to get to that point. Now Curry embraced the brand a lot more, but he eventually started to do that when people started to really push him up there. Jokic, he's gonna have to win a lot more than Curry did in order to, get that swagger in the eyes of the fans, and it hurts the brand. I'm not gonna lie, it does hurt the brand. Luka and Jokic, they disrespected the game with their performance in the All-Star game. This man Luka was underneath the rim and missed a layup. Like I know, like literally underneath the rim and missed a layup.
It was their just demeanor. Like they like.
It was
Very
a break,
blasé.
like Alan said. It was an all-star break. It wasn't an all-star game. It was an all-star break.
Mm-hmm.
That's what. And I'm telling you, Adam Silver, you got to do something. Is because the
Can I propose
NFL.
something?
quick. The NFL is still the most popular sport, but nobody watches a Pro Bowl. They could take away pads. They could make it flag football. Nobody cares about the Pro Bowl.
That's a fact.
Do something, because last year I still had some hope that there will be some competition. This year I came into it expecting no competition, and it didn't happen. So now fans are expecting this to be a trash event.
So let me propose an angle to this, and then I'm going to segue into my man Levy Chin's questions, because they're actually where I want to go with this. I think what also has been revealed is the reason behind one of the points we talked about with when will this era actually begin and when will the last era stop. I now know why it's been one-off championships the last few years, and there's no one who looks like they're about to put together a run. Why Giannis hasn't been able to put together a run, why I personally doubt whether the Nuggets will put together a run, and why I don't know if this group of superstars, the Joel, Jokic, AD, Luka superstars, I don't know why they can do, because I don't think they're obsessive about it.
They're not. I
think Giannis's comments about failure told me that it didn't eat at him that he didn't repeat or even get back to the finals. It did, same thing with Jokic. Like, I think they play every year and they treat it like a sport. Like, we're going to do our best, and the goal is to win a championship. But if we don't win, we go home, enjoy our families, and we come back and try again. I don't think anyone is out here, like, in their mindset, like, no, I'm trying to win X number of rings. No, I want to win more rings than this guy and this guy. I don't think there is and this sounds like an old head point, and people are going to say, like, they're going to tie this to, like, the old LeBron criticism about AAU basketball. I don't think it comes from that. I just think in terms of internal, how they're made up, I don't think that class of superstars cares about comparison and internal competition. I don't.
Do you want to know why?
I don't. Hold on, let me land. I don't think Jokic cares where he ranks as opposed to Giannis, AD, or Luka. I don't think Giannis cares. I don't think Luka cares. I don't think these guys care about competing with their peers. And
say those names again. Say those names again.
Giannis, Luka, Jokic. I don't think any of those
common
guys.
Denominator?
Well, yes.
There you go.
That's where we're gonna go.
Y'all called me crazy for saying that weeks ago.
Here's what I think the underlying is, and let's. I'm gonna turn this to y'all. You know why? I think that and RJ says they don't have adoration for NBA culture. I don't know if that they don't have adoration for NBA culture, because I think they do have adoration for NBA legends and moments, and I think they want to have similar moments. But think about their basketball upbringing. In America, what do we do to players from second grade?
Give them a position.
That's a fact.
We rank them. ESPN has a top 100. ESPN has a top 100 ranking for the class of 2037 right now. For the class of 2037, there is an ESPN top 100 ranking today. Right? If you watch any player interviews on Player Podcasts, what do they talk about when they talk about coming up? They talk about their motivation coming from the newspaper rankings, and this gets to the media instigation, right? From young, players are compared to their peer group, and their motivation comes from my opportunities may be determined by how this external force views me in comparison to my peers, right? The one and done, part of what the drawback of that is, if I'm a lit freshman and I can guarantee myself a top 10 ranking, it is what it is. No one cares to compete against their peers at the college level, right? If we both go lottery, all right, it is what it is. I don't think people care about going number one anymore. I don't think people care about going top 3, because they look at guys like Steph and them that, like, pop out of whatever. They just want to get drafted, get to the league. And then when they get to the league, they don't care about being prepared. In Europe, they don't have that. In Europe, these guys are going pro at 16. They're getting validated earlier. There is no and when they do that, in terms of comparison to their peers, they're already better than everyone. If I'm a pro at 16, I already know I'm the best of my peer group in my country. Clearly, I'm on the pro team. I'm on the Olympic team. I'm on the FIBA team at 16. Obviously, I'm the best. So when they come to the league, they're coming in having already got the affirmation of being the best of their peer group. They don't have any continuing drive, no chip on their shoulder to prove. Now, Giannis, and this is why I say it's cap. Giannis likes to run with the narrative of a chip on his shoulder because he wasn't highly touted. He comes from humble beginnings. But I think once he's made it, he's got his MVPs, he's got his DPOIs, he's got his chips. I don't see him fighting for respect in the league anymore.
Let me counter that a little bit.
And you know what? And you know why? I'm gonna land on these 2 points. He's not fighting for respect, and you know why? And I think he's had several weird moments in regular seasons that show that he's not respected. When Montrezl Harrell took the ball from him and they put that ladder under the rim and said, "No, you're not gonna practice here." That was a lack of respect.
Yes, it was.
That was a lack. That was a disrespect.
What the Pacers did.
What the Pacers did, the way he had to get out of character to get his ball, that was a lack of respect. And so I think these European players, they don't feel the need to fight for respect from their peers. They don't have the respect of their peers outside of their skill. Everyone's gonna know, hey, all right, he's nice. But in terms of hooper culture, there's no respect because they don't compete. And RJ's right. The media has taken the cue from the players. The players don't like they didn't like that they were getting pitted against each other anymore. And so the media has backed off from it. And now all NBA media is individual critique. We're going to talk about what this player should be and whether they are or not, but we don't compare them.
Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant.
To that, y'all say what? To that, y'all say what?
I blame LeBron James.
We gotta stop. We have to stop.
You gotta explain that.
I agree. No. For real. Let me say this, and I agree with everything you just said. There needs to be comparisons again, but there is for years, and it comes from a toxic culture of casuals, and it comes from the media where guys who were known as like, I'm going to go out and go get it, were almost sort of demonized. They were made fun of, really. Like people like James Harden saying, like, I am the system. Everyone dragged him. That's the energy. I am the mother, I am the system. All right. I'm the guy that gets the wins going. Russell Westbrook going 115%. That was demonized in the media. But that's what you need, right? The media made it for years. It became, we don't care that LeBron James has lost more than every other superstar in the top 5. We don't care about that. His individual stats are what we care about. That's what makes him the best player. That's what we need to make the comparisons on. And it's stupid. Man, this has got me so hot. It's effing stupid, all right? It's so stupid. It's so stupid because how is this a cup? At the end of a game, guess what happens? Somebody wins and somebody loses.
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
We can't have a culture that says losing doesn't matter. Then why are we playing?
Preach.
But see, I think that's a separate
This is
point.
stupid.
But I think that's a separate point that what Farrell was talking about. Giannis Farrell had that. I think he had that chip, but when he got the ring, he felt like because I said it. I think last episode or the episode before last, like Giannis he's kind of feeling himself a little bit, getting into that star. The current day, the modern day star type of vibe. Because Giannis, like 5 years ago,
hunger.
He's going for that MVP.
I think the chip got
Fighting
lifted.
for
Going for the
respect.
All-Star MVP.
Fighting for respect. When he was beefing with James, and there was a narrative about the disrespect
running
of
and
his
dunking.
skill.
Running and dunking. Like that.
He had a point to prove.
Exactly. And he feels like he doesn't have to prove it anymore. Yeah. And that's the sad part because guys like Kobe got 1, got 2, and wanted more.
Yeah.
Even LeBron.
That's what.
Even LeBron. Although Andre said what he said, even LeBron, he still wants more.
But that's why I can't put it on Bron, because Bron, you can't say that anymore because Bron is playing his 21 year in the league because he still has a point to prove.
Yeah.
Listen.
So
it's not just in and of Bron of himself. It's how the media has decided to craft and push LeBron James in light of whatever happens with him, right? I personally don't think LeBron is okay with the fact that he has six losses. even though he's like, well, whatever, I'm still the best player in the world.
He's trying.
That's
to,
if
he's
he
trying to
was
change
if
the
he
narrative. He's trying to change the
correct.
narrative. So that
He's trying to change the narrative, but he's trying to change the narrative while also trying to go get the 2 other chips, so that he can also be like, maybe I have 6 losses, but I also have 6 wins. So forget y'all.
Yeah, but he's
So I
still
can't say it's
playing
purely
because
him.
he
Yeah.
loves the game and
Correct.
he wants
He
to
loves
still
it.
compete with his peers. He loves
But
the
he
fact that
doesn't
these young
understand.
he loves the fact that these young boys can't deal with him still.
It's
Like
more
he gets
than
off,
That's
when
a
you
fact.
watch Laker games and he gets off, like the look in his face is
It's a
like
fact.
pure satisfaction of like, yo, they still can't mess with me.
It's a
Like
fact.
I'm 40, y'all are 20, and y'all still can't do nothing with me. Like
he always maintains that the only way he's gonna retire is when he feels like he's sorry. That's when he's gonna retire.
Yeah.
That's why I said he's going 25 years. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
But listen, this is my thing though, right? It's more than just wins and losses. This is deeper than that. Because Luka wants wins and losses. He wants a chip. Wemby wants chips. I think Jokic wants chips. It's more than that.
I don't know that Jokic wants chips.
Speaking
he does,
of
but
Wemby,
only as an
speaking of
objective,
Wemby,
not in terms of like he doesn't want. I don't think he cares whether he wins more rings than anyone else in the league right now.
Right.
speaking of
He just
Wemby,
wants
though,
to win,
I think,
but he doesn't care.
I think Wemby's gonna be that next guy. I don't know if
yeah.
y'all watch him. Like when that guy, because they lose a lot older than Spurs. When he lose, you can see it on his face. He's mad. I saw it on the what do you call it? Rising Star Challenge too. He's visibly mad. So I think he's gonna be the next upset star. So
I'm
will
declaring
see.
it.
We'll see,
I'm
because
declaring
God
no.
is
I'm
like, he
declaring
gets-
it right now.
Yeah,
Wemby will be the best player in the league, and Wemby will be the face of this league. I saw what I need to see, and that was the last point about the NBA hierarchy All-Star game. I saw that. Not Ant, not Jokic, not Luka, not
Tatum.
Giannis. I think Tatum feels like he needs to win before he declares it, which I respect. And maybe if he wins this year, he'll step into it and own it. But Wemby has that. He was trying in that skills challenge.
He was.
And it boasts my point. He should have been an all-star this year. If Wemby was in that game,
oh yeah.
It would have been something.
He would have
we got a
turned it
perfect
up.
setup. Let me say
He
this.
would have turned it up
That's
because he embarrasses people.
Yes.
And people would have not want to be embarrassed by Wemby doing wild stuff.
And if they let him go too much, he will get the MVP. And I don't think
they wouldn't want to have that.
They wouldn't want a rookie. Nah, they wouldn't. Let me say this. There might be some chess involved here for everything we just said because John Morant's not there this year. Wemby wasn't here next year. First play of the All-Star game next season. Wemby versus Ja. Ja is going to try to dunk over Wemby. I'm telling you.
They're both West.
Oh, they're both. Now they got to change the format. Never mind.
Bro, imagine that's what I'm saying. Ja and Wemby on the same All-Star team next year. The East has to play hard because you got two people trying to embarrass you on the West. When you look at the West starters this year, Bron was trying not to get hurt.
Right. Very clearly.
Luka
looks so bad this year.
Bro, he was trying to get hurt, bro. He was trying to get. But he's not supposed he was supposed to be the grandfather just chilling. It was supposed to be the stars in their prime going hard. West starters.
He's looking at his legacy though. But he's looking at his legacy.
It's true. No, because he always went hard, except he didn't want to finish. That was the only knock on LeBron would go hard as hell in the All-Star games, except in the last 4 minutes when he wanted to pass. Because he would start treating like a real game, and then he wanted to pass. Who are the other West starters? Luka, Jokic, and who was the fifth? Dame? No, he was the East. Who was the fifth?
He's in the East.
Who was the fifth starter?
In the West? Shy.
Yeah.
Shy.
He has it. Yeah. He goes hard, and he's petty with his peers. He tries to go, which is why I think he should win MVP this year, because he's of that ilk. But you had 3 of the West starters, not getting it. And in the East, who was East starters? Tatum, Dame, Giannis.
Giannis.
Bam, and who else?
But hold on.
That shouldn't have been a starter.
Hold on.
Who got MVP? Dame. Only one trying to really turn it up.
Nah. I can't say. See, here's the thing, right? It all comes down to everybody caring. It really does, because it's about defense.
I disagree.
About defense. No, let me tell you why.
You need a handful of guys.
No, it's about defense, because you had Dame going off and you had Karl Anthony Towns going on. two different sides. They don't guard each other, so therefore nobody cares. Dame's half-court shots were impressive, but that was the only thing I respected Tyrese's game more than Dame's game because he was.
I agree because Dame was just chucking. Dame was chucking. Tyrese came out of I honestly
I don't even think he was going hard. I think he was just chucking the whole game. That's come on, man. Like that.
I love Tyrese. Tyrese activated hot start badge immediately. And I love to see it.
But it's not even hard defense. It's just like
no
we're
defense.
But I'm saying we don't need like actual hard defense. It's just like let's actually match up. Like
try to respect. How about that? Have some damn self-respect.
The level of defense is like I'm gonna stand in front of you like on some one-on-one and like try to cook me. Now I'm not gonna foul you. I'm not gonna foul you. And if you hit a good move, I'm gonna let you rock. But like I'm not gonna just watch. Like, you gotta like do something.
It's not gonna be a layup line.
Like, show me a little something. Now if you give me, all right, you got it, good bucket. Now I'm gonna come down. I'm gonna try to hit you with something. Like
that's all we want. I don't know why the players keep talking about something. I don't want to get hurt in the All-Star game.
Let me say this. This is why I want to see the NBA. If you're listening, and I hope you are. It's a Fast Breaks podcast. Do a 5-on-5 with some of the best bench players. Because tell me how great it would be to see Russell Westbrook and Pat Bev going at it. Because Pat Bev is gonna be a menace. Pat Bev is gonna be a menace. But we need menace energy. We need menace energy.
Final points on this, Allen.
3-on-3.
3-on-3 would be crazy. I'd settle for that.
3-on-3 or 1-on-1. I keep hearing people talk about the 1-on-1.
It's got to be ones. It's got to be ones because we have to force them to compete with each other. Like, it's in front of the world. Like, you have to get it. Yeah. You have to go get it. If you get embarrassed, you get embarrassed. Like,
that's a fact.
But people say stars wouldn't do it.
I don't think they would either.
I think there's certain stars. I think there's certain stars who like really take one-on-ones. Like KD would love it.
KD would absolutely love it.
Yes.
I think Ant might love it too. Ant might love it too.
Shay would. No, I don't. I'm off the Ant train officially, bro.
Off of it?
Bro, because you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of him talking about like he was nice at every sport and he just chose ball. Like
I remember that. We talked about that in Fast Breaks.
Like he don't love this game like that, bro. He works hard, he's good, he's talented, but he don't got that like obsessiveness in him. He don't got that competition with his peers.
He's too cocky and he needs to stop, bro.
No, I think it's different from it's a cockiness, like it's a playground cockiness. Yeah, like I know I'm nice enough to talk, so I'm gonna talk, but I'm not really trying to go at it with y'all. You know what I mean? Like
if somebody challenges me, all right, you got it.
Which is what happened with Draymond.
Yeah.
Right? He bucked up. Draymond said, "Okay, what's really up with it?" And he was like, "All right, whatever. Yeah, whatever. We'll see. Nah. So I'm off the Ant train.
Like Grant Williams.
But I like Grant Williams.
What I think my final point on this is I think that what was confirmed this year is that the face of the league will be Ja and Wemby moving forward. Ja's got to get his stuff together, but we need him. I finally saw
bro. Leave it alone.
How
That's
bad
not your
we
lifestyle.
need him. The league needs Ja bad.
Lil Wayne said that. Lil Wayne said that a few weeks ago. And they said they need to make him the face of this league. And wow. Wisdom
need him
from Lil Wayne.
Desperately.
That's crazy.
We need him desperately. And I didn't think that before. But we need Ja desperately in this league.
I hope he don't disappoint us.
Allen, your final points? Well, on the court, he never does. He just has to. Yeah. He's like the modern Allen Iverson. Like, he just got to get right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Final point is don't lose those damn recipes. Let's bring back culture, bring back the NBA culture where people are competitive. Don't lose that NBA for All-Star Weekend. It's All-Star Weekend, not All-Star break. Let's change the vernacular. Change the vernacular.
Change it around.
Paul?
I'm gonna address some of these IG comments, man, because we ignored the IG comments, man.
Nah, I brought in all RJ's points. No,
that's YouTube.
There's other comments.
YouTube.
There's
IG.
Oh, you're on YouTube?
Conversation
I'm on IG,
man. This man,
yeah, bring it up. Put it on the screen.
Said that Gen Z doesn't care about institutions.
He's right.
That's true.
Good point. It's part of it. He said he said you're making the same argument he was with Drake versus Cole.
That man, low key JD was asking why I was screaming.
This is the argument I made. They don't care to compete with each other.
Low key,
They got their cosign early, and they don't view these as opportunities to compete anymore because they're already established. They didn't have to fight and grind. And I'm talking about these European players. They did not have. Now, in a sense, they did, obviously, because they're coming from countries different scenarios. I'm not talking about their upbringing. But don't get me confused. I don't want someone to show me the Giannis stat of him playing with holes in his shoes. I get it. He had to fight. He had to struggle. But and even when he got to the league, he had to fight for respect. But he seemed to have lost that chip. And the Jokic's and Lukas of the world, they were the opposite of this. Jokic came in, no one knew him, and he didn't care. Luka came in, everyone knew him, and he was already the Michael Jordan of his country.
Yeah.
They don't care about.
The Michael Jordan of his country is crazy.
Can we talk about how disrespectful it is that Luka said that the NBA is easy? Even think about that. Like, think about that. Like, this is supposed to be the best league in the world, and he said this is easy.
No, he
said it's easy.
He said it's easy to score.
No, but he didn't actually say those words. Like, if you actually watch the clip, it's taken out of context. What he actually said was, individual scoring is easier. Yeah, he was talking about the spacing. He was talking about the style of play. He was saying it is harder as an individual to get a bucket, to get an ISO bucket in international play. He was saying as an ISO scorer, it is easier for me to get an ISO bucket in the NBA. He was not saying the NBA is an easier league than international. That's not what he was saying.
Either way, what he was saying was it's easier for him to score here than back home.
I believe it.
That is still crazy as somebody that hasn't won a chip. Think about that.
But scoring doesn't win you a chip. Scoring doesn't win you a chip.
It doesn't sound crazy to me when you put it the way Rose just said he put it.
It's all style. He's just saying.
Yeah, that's just schematics at that point.
I know exactly what he's saying, but to say it is crazy.
No, but it makes sense because the NBA has shifted to you can't, and this is what me and you always debate about, Paul, so we don't have to get into it, but it goes to my point. What you just identified is what I keep trying to say, where like you can't in the modern NBA, one player cannot win a game by scoring anymore.
Well, yeah.
Like you getting what, and we've seen it, right? We've seen guys get 50, 60, and 70 and lose several times just this season because the way the game is played now, teams are going to let you do that, and it doesn't actually affect the game anymore.
However, look at what RJ just said. Yes, Luka himself beat the Clippers. So let's not act like it can't happen too. It can't happen.
They're not doing a chip. You're not going to do it again. First and foremost, they're not beating the Clippers. Let's just get that straight. The Mavs, no. They're getting smacked up.
Thank you for setting it up because let's get into it. Let's talk about the middle of the West.
That's good.
Because
they're getting smacked up. I confidently say
I highly disagree with you.
Yeah,
that's fine. I don't care.
Smacked up is crazy. Smacked up is
They're
crazy.
getting smacked up.
Let me put some things. Let me put some things in front of you, right? Let me put some things in front of you. The Mavericks, hold on. The Mavericks are currently 6th in the West, out of the play-in. Yep. They've won their last 7 games. They're 8-2 in their last 10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. New Orleans Pelicans, they're 5th, 8-2 in their last 10. Sacramento, who was, a really good team last year, they're 7th. They're 5-5 in their last 10. Phoenix has lost 2 in a row, 6-4 in their last 10. In that 4 group, the Mavericks are looking like they're going to pull out.
They probably are.
When they made that trade for PJ Washington, and now they've got their young center, Derek Lively back.
Derek Lively, the second.
The Mavericks, and Kyrie's healthy, which is always a thing with his teams. Kyrie has been healthy most of this year. Tim Hardaway Jr. looks like he's found a way to finally reach consistency. I think the Mavericks are a team to watch in the West. If they end up getting this 5th or even 4th seed, which would be tough. They're many games behind the 4th seed. But if they get that 5th seed, and if the Nuggets stay at 4 and the Nuggets have to see Luka in a first-round matchup 4-5,
that's a problem.
They will also get smacked.
That is an issue for – no, I don't think so. The Mavericks have enough bodies to throw at Jokic. They have about 15 fouls. Nice. They have about 15 fouls, and the Nuggets have no one to deal with Luka.
That's
And then you got Kyrie helping out. That's tough.
You got Jamal Murray would have to guard.
Kyrie too.
It's a fact. You 1 and 2. You gotta pick 1 and 2.
Jamal Murray has to guard.
Listen, I don't. Y'all put in a lot of these.
You act like they didn't go to the conference finals 2 years ago.
Let's call a spade a spade. He doesn't respect
did
Luka Doncic, man.
Huh?
You might have a point. You might have a point. Do you respect Luka, Andre?
Yeah, he doesn't. He don't really rate Luka.
Do you respect Luka like that?
I respect his game. I respect his game, but he hasn't shown me enough. He truly has not shown me enough to show me he's at that level. We're talking about championships.
In the playoffs, he hasn't. In the playoffs, he hasn't shown.
How far has he gone? How far has he gone?
We just said he went to the conference finals 2 years ago.
Was it 2 years ago?
I'm telling you, he don't know nothing about Luka. He doesn't watch. He doesn't watch Luka. He doesn't know. Luka is one of the nicest players I have ever seen.
He's nice, incredibly nice.
He's crazy. The way he scores. Are they gonna like this? The way he scores is
we can't get RJ too hype. He's gonna start salivating.
That's a good word. That's a good word. That's a good word. Effortless is exactly the way Luka scores. It looks like he's not even trying out there.
The way he looked at the All-Star game is the way he looks in the real games when he scores. He's making the shots.
But the Mavericks are a dangerous team, and I personally would very much love for them to get the Nuggets up out of here in the first round. That would be really
I'm sure
nice.
you would. I'm sure you would.
That would be excellent.
That's the only way the Lakers are going to have a shot.
I'm very excited to watch.
But that's true. But also, if the Nuggets are not in the playoffs, who then has the best chance to win?
Who has the best chance? The Clippers.
No, in the West, I'm saying if the Mavs get the Nuggets out of here,
Clippers, 100%.
Think about it. Let's really think about it.
I just thought about it.
The West
I was
teams,
confident in what I said before. The Clippers are going to smack up a lot of teams.
The teams in the West, we know how they feel about these teams and these superstars in playoffs. If the Nuggets,
I see where you're going with this.
If the Nuggets get eliminated,
I see where you're going.
All the players in the West playoffs immediately turn their head and worry about
Stephen Curry on the Golden State Warriors.
They're not making the playoffs.
No, they can make the playoffs. They can. There's a pathway for them. They can make it.
There's a pathway, but they're not going to go on it. That pathway is gonna,
if Jokic,
they playing well too.
If Jokic boosts Boot out of here, who becomes the boogeyman in the West?
We're not saying it, bro. We're not giving you the gratification. We're not saying
it. We'll move on. We're talking about those two teams. So
Marvin Bagley.
But Dre, hold on. I want to push us to talk at a higher level here as a pod. Dre, from a basketball standpoint, like real X's and O's, why don't you believe in the Mavericks?
X's and O's, not the fake ones.
Why don't you believe in the Mavericks? They play a good brand, a sustainable brand of basketball.
I don't know, man. There's just something about them. There's just something about the Mavericks I haven't bought in yet. I don't watch them. When I watch them, I don't see a championship contender. I see fun, skilled basketball.
Why?
I think the defense really.
I'm pushing you. We gotta give some. Higher level takes.
No, I'm being honest. I don't see them. I see them as a team that can't lock anybody up. True, and you need to be able to do. You need to be able to shut somebody down to win a championship.
They have a lot of paint presence, though. PJ Washington, Dwight Powell, Derek Lively. That's a lot of rim protection. Derek Jones is athletic. They have shooting. They have Tim. They have Josh Green. They have Maxi Kleber. They have Markieff Morris.
I have to see it. I haven't seen it thus far.
Daniel Gafford, another center.
And I've seen the Mavericks go crazy on like the Knicks. I've seen them blow out the Nets. Like I'm not dull to this. I'm just saying the way I've seen them beat down other teams, it never struck me as like this is a team that can go further. Because in my head, and I think I still have a little bit of bias, but in my head, I'm still seeing it as like the Nuggets are going. I don't care what's happening in the regular season to an extent, whatever is going on with these streaks, because I still see the Nuggets going. And if it's not the Nuggets, the only team I see coming out of the West right now is the Clippers.
So for further context, the wins that they have in February, they beat Phoenix by 10.
Phoenix is a bad team.
Mavericks? Phoenix is not a bad team.
Wait, you're talking about the Mavericks?
Yeah.
Okay.
They beat Phoenix. San Antonio, Washington, they beat OKC, blew them boys out by 34.
That's a good win. That's crazy.
They blew the Thunder out by 34, right? They beat the Knicks February 8th when the Knicks were very hot.
That was whoa. There's a lot of injuries in that Knicks game.
Fair enough.
There was a lot of injuries in that Knicks game.
Nets, whatever.
Damn close.
Nets,
It came
whatever.
damn close.
76ers, I think that was just when Joel had injured himself. They
It
lost
was.
against the Bucks. They lost very badly against the Timberwolves.
They're sliding. You just named at least two of those games they slid. I'm not hearing.
Here's the thing. I view you say rim protection. The problem with you rim
All around
protection
just
is what
defense.
you need.
All around defense.
They
but
beat
yeah,
the Timberwolves in January though. January 7th, they beat the
They have
Timberwolves.
more than rim protection at this point.
Yeah,
They beat the Pelicans.
The
Yeah,
rim
they-
protection.
They have some good wing defenders now.
Now they do. Now that's what I'm saying. I have to see it. I have to see. Like, we just named a number of teams. You said the Spurs. You said the injured Knicks. You said the Nets.
No,
who are
but
trash
all right,
right
that's
now.
for the number. But I'm saying, look at the wins they have. They have wins against the Pelicans. They have wins against the Timberwolves. They have
I don't
wins
rate the
against
Pelicans that
they
high.
have-
The only one that you said that
The Pelicans are 5th in the West and have won 8 of
I
their
don't
last
care.
10.
I don't care.
follow
They're not
the
a
names. The
sustainable
Pelicans are
team. They
nice.
have yet to be a sustainable team. I'm not going with the trends. I'm looking at how the team's
What
been
does
constructed.
sustainable mean when you're 5th in the West with 20 games to go? Like, what more
Do
sustainable?
you have
to
somebody
do?
that can get you to the finals?
So that's the standard we're talking about now.
That's the standard for me. As a presently constructed team, look who I said. I said the Nuggets, who have arguably the best player in the world.
And they're
I said the
4th.
Clippers.
And they're 4th.
And I
So what
said-
are we talking about? So
we
what are
don't care
talking
about that because they
I-
are
let me say something.
marginally always in the 3rd seed. It doesn't matter. They're going to get back.
Let me.
But the other team I said, hold on, Paul. Let me finish.
Yeah, go ahead.
The other team I said was the Clippers, who have Kawhi Leonard, who is always bound for a championship every 7 years.
So,
This man,
so I don't see how the Clippers and the Nuggets get put in the same tier for talking about playoff success. What have the Clippers done?
what do you mean? What of the
That
Clippers?
gives you
The
all
Clippers
this
don't have to do
confidence.
nothing. The Clippers,
Ogie,
it's Kawhi Leonard.
baby.
It's Kawhi Leonard. It's Kawhi Leonard.
Is he gonna be healthy if we're talking about sustainability? When's the last time he
He's
played?
been healthy this year. He's been healthy this year.
So now regular season matters.
No.
Kawhi's regular season health matters, but
Look at
the
the com-
Pelicans'
look at the
regular
IG
season
comments,
wins don't
bro.
matter. What are we talking about?
Correct.
Look at the
Correct.
IG comments,
Correct.
bro.
What they say?
But listen, all I'm gonna say. All right, look at the comments first. Go ahead.
Well,
The
we
Mavericks
don't want
beat
dead
the
silence in the air.
Clippers.
Oh yeah.
That's a fact.
Keep
That's a
talking, keep
fact.
talking. The Mavericks
No.
beat the Clippers.
See, this is my thing, right?
Where's
This is my
it?
thing.
Tell me.
I see what you're saying, Andre, but the problem is you don't respect Luka enough. And that's a because
What is
Well, I
what
don't
did
know
what
why
I
we're
said?
talking about
no. Let me.
superstars. Wait, why are we talking about superstars? Talk about the on court. Talk about the
Yes.
basketball being played. You haven't given me an
That's what I'm
on-court
talking
basketball
about.
reason
He said
why you
defense.
think their team is not that good.
I did. I literally
And I
said
told you
it.
at the trade deadline they just went and got 2 centers, and
And
they
what
got
was my
Marquise,
response?
and they
What
got
was my
Marquise
response?
Morris. So they have versatile wing
What was my
defenders and rim
response?
protection.
What was my response?
It doesn't appear that the Mavericks have beat the Clippers, by the way. So I understand your point, Josh.
What is my response? I said I have to.
Oh, they
see
beat them
it.
in November.
I have to see it.
And
Let
I'm
me
telling
see
you,
it. Give
they've
me a
been-
couple.
listen. Here's the problem. No,
February,
let me
and
say
they-
this quick.
You know what I'm
Let me say this
saying?
quick.
Is that unfair? Is that unfair?
Let me say this. But
we got,
hold on.
we got what? 2 months left of regular
Let-
season basketball.
Paul, let Paul talk because Paul's been watching. So
Yeah,
Paul,
that's a fact. That's a fact. Let him go. Let him go.
pizza, what's been happening on court, please.
Yeah. Okay. Right. The thing is, Luka. This is why I say you don't respect Luka enough. Any team with Luka and help is a contender.
Thank you.
Yes.
Point blank. And you don't believe that because you don't rate Luka that much. Everything you're saying about the Mavericks as a team, I agree
It's
with,
true.
but they are
It's
a
true.
threat to the Clippers. They are a threat to the
Did I-
Nuggets. They
Did I
are
say they're not a threat?
They are a threat, and they are to be put in the same class as them because of Luka Doncic. He's that nice, and you don't respect him enough. And a lot of people don't respect him enough. I'm not even gonna get into that, but a lot of people don't respect him enough. A lot of people don't respect him
Tell me
enough.
why, Paul.
Even when he's dropping 70 on your team, you don't respect him enough. He's a problem. he's a problem. And any team that got him as their go-to guy is a threat.
Yeah.
It's that simple. It's that
Luka-
simple. He has help now. To Pharaoh's point, he has help.
Yes.
Now, as far as the Nuggets now, Pharaoh, what you said about the rim protection, that's not that big of a deal when it comes to the Nuggets.
Shout out to Soap Bars. I see the comment.
I'm about to look at that. But to Pharaoh's point about rim
You
protection,
can't put it on the screen. You can't put it on the screen.
yeah, you got to be on the YouTube comments to for me to put it on the screen. But anyway, to Pharaoh's point about rim protection isn't a big deal against the Nuggets because it's about having a big body to defend Jokic and make him play.
Dwight Powell, Daniel Gafford, Derek Lively the second.
Derek Lively's not big enough.
That's a fact. But he
Dwight
Derek
Powell,
Lively's really good.
Dwight Powell, and Daniel Gafford.
Yes, those two are the ones. But even then, I gotta see it.
Which means you have Derek Lively to guard Aaron Gordon, which is usually their mismatch kill.
I'm sorry.
They usually
True,
don't have enough.
True.
And
Aaron,
PJ Washington and Markieff Morris, like
PJ
they have.
I'm not hearing nothing else.
Can you just say?
Nah, chill. PJ Washington's been good for them.
He has been. Paul, can you say what you just said again? Paul, can you say what you said again? Paul, can you say what you said again? You have to what? You have to what? You have to.
I do have to watch.
You have to see it.
I do have to see.
Is that what you're saying?
Right,
But
let's move on then.
No,
Let's
that's my
move on
point.
then.
That's my
Let's move
point.
on
That's
then. Let's
actually
move on
my
then.
whole point.
All right, so the Fast Breaks Basketball Podcast has not watched enough Mavericks basketball to comment yet, so we'll move on. Have y'all watched enough New Orleans Pelicans basketball to comment?
Definitely not.
Your problem.
Sir,
Your problem.
just really quick on the Mavericks.
Can I go to
really
Alan?
quick
I
on
feel
the
like
Mavericks,
Alan
but-
watches games. Alan, have
Really-
you been watching what the Pelicans are doing?
Yeah,
Alan,
I want to make a quick point about the Mavs. Though. I've been watching the Mavs. I like what the Mavs is doing. I think they got the perfect roster for what they've been trying to do now.
Exactly.
What they were trying to do with Grant Williams is now exactly what they needed, and they got a PJ Washington, and that's why they're good
Markieff
now.
Morris. They got two for the price of one.
I'm not going to talk about Luka because Paul talked about Luka. Luka's obviously nice, but Daniel Gafford and what they did with Daniel Gafford, they made him take what's his name, Max Kleber. They made him take Max Kleber's spot. They made him take Max Kleber's spot, who's a small center, who's like 6'8", trying to be a big center out there. And now that guy's out there doing what Grant Williams used to do for like on the bench and making big, timely jump shots. And that's why they are going to go far in the playoffs because they have Luka and they have a bunch of pieces that fit them now. And that's what makes them a good basketball team.
As you've seen them, are you confident that they can take out the Nuggets? Don't. Just a yes or no. Just a quick yes or no.
Making that argument, you keep You keep using that as a standard to diminish them being good at all.
I'm not saying they're not good.
No.
But that's all we're trying to say is that the Mavericks, so that they can come out of that middle pack and
they're a contender. Is the point?
You're bringing the fact that they're not better than the Nuggets as a reason why they're not gonna do that. That's ridiculous.
Hold on, Farrell.
No, they'll still do. Wait,
Andrew. I got you, Andrew. Yeah, I got you, Andrew. Wait, Farrell, you're what Andrew just said, right?
What?
He said that y'all are trying to say that they're a contender.
I think they are in.
Is that what you're trying to say?
I think no. I don't think they're a contender. I think that they coming out of that middle pack
to do what?
are a team that the top four have to worry about.
That's fine. That's a fine statement.
Yeah,
that's all that I was. That's all that. I mean, I think so.
So therefore, Andre is right in bringing up the defending champions.
That's
and
correct.
saying, how do they measure up to them? Because are you really a contender? If you,
I think they match up well. And I responded to that saying, I think they match up very well.
And
that's where we disagree.
Because Andre's trying to ask me if I'm confident that they're going to straight up beat the Nuggets. And I'm trying to say they match up well. They have a very good chance of beating the Nuggets.
That's a very matter of fact. Like, I'm not going to.
It's not
I'm a very matter of fact guy. I'm a very matter of fact guy.
You got to watch the games. You got to watch the games.
Hold on. Yeah. So break down X's and O's how the Nuggets beat them. Hold on. I want to see something. Break down X's and O's how the Nuggets beat them. And then how many games?
I'm going to bring it down to 6 games, and it's obviously going to come down. It's actually not even going to come down to Jokic. It's going to come down to MPJ.
MPJ?
Oh, yeah. Quote me on that.
Who's his matchup, by the way?
Who is his matchup on the Mavericks?
Brent.
How you going to say it and you don't? You pointed him out.
Because I don't know anyone on the Mavericks that's going to guard him.
Okay, all right. So let's go through their team then.
Go for it.
Markieff Morris.
Not guarding him.
All right. Josh Green.
I'm having support in the comments, by the way.
I
don't see anyone. No. Stay here. Have the conversation.
That's fine. That's fine. I don't know anybody on the Mavericks.
He's looking for help. No,
I'm not. I'll tell you right now. Look you right in the face. MPJ is a 6'10" shooter.
PJ Washington.
Jokic relies on to get the ball to
230 pounds.
That's not 6'10".
What? When did you see? What great games in their finals run did MPJ have? Please point it out to me. I think
I don't know if he had an.
I think he had a 30-point game. So you're telling me he's gonna win the matchup for them against the Mavericks, but we haven't even seen him do that in a series in the playoffs yet.
I think the fact that Jokic can rely on him to get him the ball, which is something that their entire offense is predicated on.
Green.
He's one of their shooters. He's one of their big shooters.
So you're telling me MPJ is going to win the series for them because he can successfully get Jokic the ball? That's your argument?
No, not that. No.
Am I laced? Comments? Is that not what he just said?
No, that's not what I said. That's not what I said. I said Jokic can get him the ball. Jokic opens up the offense, swinging the ball to him. And a lot of teams, I talked about this before, a lot of teams scramble because they don't know where to go against the Nuggets. They open
because they can't switch because the Nuggets have too much size on their wings, which is an issue the Dallas Mavericks do not have.
You don't think they have? You just said the guys are.
The Dallas Mavericks do not have that issue.
They might have to double Jokic though. They might have.
And look at
MPJ. What happens when they're going? Oh no! What's going to happen when they?
Hold on. I'm going to respond to your point with actual detail. The reason why on the swing, the Nuggets kill a lot of teams is because when they go to first of all, Jokic is being guarded by most of the size that most teams have.
True,
right? Their biggest player.
Yes.
Then they come to double with their second biggest player. Then what happens for most teams, all of your length and height have moved to Jokic. The scramble and rotations that are happening with the three other players are all smalls. So when the ball gets swung to MPJ, he can easily shoot over a rotating player because he's 6'10". It is that exact issue that I am pointing out the Mavericks do not have. They can have Gafford guarding him and send PJ Washington to double, and you have a Markieff Morris, a Derrick Jones Jr., or a Josh Green rotating. MPJ cannot just pull over any of those players with ease with no contest. That is my point. He will have to actually score on someone with length and size.
My question now is,
and we have not seen him do that in a playoff run yet.
Facts. I don't trust MPJ that in the playoffs. I don't know what you're talking about, Andre. But what I will say is,
that's what I'm saying.
What I will say
want to
is,
see. I believe in it.
Do you trust?
Also, Jamal.
Wait,
I want to keep going with details real quick. Go ahead. Jamal Murray has a lot of success in playoffs because he rarely has to guard. And when he does, they struggled. Who did the Nuggets struggle with the most in last year's playoff? The Timberwolves and the Suns, because Jamal Murray had to guard.
That's fair.
And all those players have bigger size and length. Just
exactly.
Earlier.
Exactly.
True. You're right.
Listen, what I will say though is, do you trust? I'm not asking you, Farrell. Do you trust that the Mavericks are going to rotate well enough?
That's what we have to see. We have to see if those players bring it together like that. But from a roster standpoint, but that's why, Paul, I respect you saying we have to see that because you said it in detail. But I'm not hearing you just look at the team and I don't know. On paper, they have, like what Alan said, what they need to accomplish what their game plan is. Whether they'll be able to execute, yes, that has to be seen. But on paper, we can look at that roster and look at the changes they made and go, ooh. They have what they need. They have the tools for their play style.
It's not just on paper.
Of course not. But
the reason you say this because you don't rate Luka, man. Let's really talk about it.
It's not the fact that I don't rate Luka. I'm telling you right now, I don't see them being able to guard make it out of a series with the Nuggets. I really don't.
But say it's because you don't think they can execute. Like, be specific.
Fine. I don't think they can execute.
I'm not even saying they can execute. I just want us to have higher level conversation.
I was trying to explain it before, but yeah. I don't think they can execute. I think the fact that they're going to be able to kill teams on a swing is one of their biggest offensive benefits. I haven't seen a team that can take them out like that, particularly not in a playoff series.
It's not that you don't rate Luka. You don't rate Rick Carlisle. Let's
Correct.
really dive into it. You think in a matchup you're
Jason
picking
Kidd,
Mike
whoa.
Malone. You're right. You're picking Mike Malone over Jason Kidd is what you're saying.
Yes. Correct.
Okay, then say
I
want us to. This is the level of basketball I want us to talk about. That's what we're saying.
You want okay. That's what I keep saying. I'm not saying it's not a Luka problem. I'm gonna keep saying it's the team.
All right, brother. I'm just pushing you to be great. I want us to get there and talk about the nitty gritty.
If Luka averages like 35 or 40 on
That
another
doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
I don't
you
know if
can't
that
say
matters.
that.
I'm
You
not gonna
can't say that.
lie.
You
I
can't
don't.
say
I
that.
don't know. I
Can't
don't know.
say
I
that.
don't know. I don't know.
Can't
Bro,
say
an individual player's
You mean for like a
average
series?
points per game doesn't matter.
Series.
It doesn't tell me anything about whether their team's gonna win, bro. The days of that is over. It's
No, no, no,
over.
no,
It's
no, no, no,
over. It's
no.
over. It's
No,
over.
no, no,
What
no.
did
Listen,
Luka
I know
average in the
we've seen
playoffs last year?
the quality
Let's
of
move.
teams that we've seen have players go off
Bro,
and lose.
Devin Booker had one of the best playoff runs I've ever seen in my life, and they lost.
To who?
That was one of the most efficient shooting percentages I've ever seen in my life. I've
true,
never
that's true.
seen someone make
Which
that many
series?
shots
Against the
Which
Nuggets.
series?
against the Nuggets. I've never
Okay.
seen
And they
someone
still
make that
lost.
many shots
Yeah,
ever,
that's a fact.
and they lost.
True. True. I'm not saying it's a given, but I'm just saying let's not act like that.
I know, but I'm answering your question. Yes, I do believe he could average 35 and lose. I do.
100%. I'm sorry.
It's because
Him scoring 35 doesn't erase. It's not like Steph scoring or like the way that the shooting on the Warriors was that it erased any of their defensive problems.
Look at this question right here. Look at this question
hold
right
on,
here.
but to your point, I want to respond to your point. In 2020-21, when he did make it to the conference finals, he averaged 35.7, and he got to do that because he had Jalen Brunson as help. So to your point, I'll give you credence. If Kyrie can be Kyrie and they can execute and rotate, and Jason Kidd has them boys defending and has those bigs, this is why I agree. He can average very dominant numbers, and I believe they have a great shot in a matchup with the Nuggets. But
they got to change their defensive scheme. They really do. They're
working on it.
do.
We'll see.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
We'll see.
That's one
We'll
for
see.
the record. For the record, when I say I have to see it, that's specifically.
I know,
I'm not worried
brother.
about that.
I just wanted you to elaborate. You know, I want this to be a high level basketball podcast. It's not a hot take podcast. I want you to elaborate. We can move on though.
But I'm a hot take specialist, or at least I used to be.
I know. There's three other teams in this class that I want to talk about. Another one which you guys are clearly not watching. So I'm going to go to Allen, who I believe has been watching basketball games. The New Orleans Pelicans, who we criticized early on, who have been rolling. Allen, what have you been seeing? Do you feel confident in them being a threat in the West, or are they just, getting some regular season wins and it's inconsequential?
I'm not going to say it's inconsequential, but
yes, you are.
I'm not saying it's inconsequential, but I think matchup-wise, I don't know if they're going to be better than like the other teams in this class that we're talking about, like the Mavericks or anything like that. But I will say they got like players that playing good. They got everyone at the right position. I really love how they got Zion Williamson handling the ball, despite what Stephen Day say. I like how he handles the ball. I like him starting the offense. They got Brandon Ingram, who they playing through and is playing amazing when he's not injured. That's another problem with them too. They gotta stay healthy. Brandon Ingram keep getting like these.
They've
little
had a nice
injuries.
run of health. They've had a nice run of health.
But I think Brandon. Oh no, he was out the last game, but I think that was for like some type of sickness or something. So you're right. They've been having some good health. And man, I don't know, man. I haven't been watching them as much as like the Mavs and some other teams, but when I do see them, they play well together. They got Zion Williamson handling the ball and starting off the offense and playing through Brandon Ingram. I think that's where their bread and butter is. Letting Brandon Ingram be like the main scorer and everyone else play off of him. And that's all I gotta say about them, man. But they're a good team. I just think I can't see them matchup wise be playing well against like the Mavs, the Clippers, or the Nuggets for that matter, or even the Lakers.
Why though?
Do they have the size to match?
Wait.
Nuggets?
They have Jonas Valanciunas,
but that's the only really big guy.
The only big guy on the team.
Not much of a defender.
I think we're. I know, but he's some size. I think we're sleeping on Zion's ability to guard up.
Guard like bigger players.
I think we're sleeping on his ability to guard up with his strength. Right? They got Cody Zeller, 6'11", coming off the bench.
Okay, you're making points.
Now, yes, I think their center position is obviously weak, but they have a lot of length, right? Brandon Ingram is long. Herbert Jones is long. Dyson Daniels is long. Trey Murphy III is long. Larry Nance Jr. is undersized, but he's long and athletic.
You're convincing me.
See,
the thing with Herbert Jones is good. Yeah, I'm saying.
Go ahead, Alan. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying Herbert Jones is good. Like he could be like defensive player of the year one day. Type good.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. No,
I didn't think about the other names you just said, but you kind of convinced me, Farrell. I think you make your points. They kind of do have a good amount of length. I mean, I just don't know if Cody Zeller is going to get playing time like that in the playoffs.
I think in a matchup with the Nuggets, you have to. But again, they may not even run into the Nuggets. Like, I know we're using them as the bar.
Right.
But like, if the
Mhm.
Pelicans get in a matchup, let's use the Clippers because the comments clearly want us to talk about the Clippers. And the Clippers at a third seed. The Clippers at a third seed are somehow being held up as the standard of the Western Conference, which I guess. But let's use that. The Pelicans catch the Clippers. How does that matchup work? There's no center you have to worry about at all.
Nope.
It's a fact.
Nope.
Herbert Jones on
Contain-
Kawhi, Brandon
Who
Ingram on
contains
Paul
Who
George.
contains James Harden? I mean, James Harden's probably going to choke in the playoffs.
And this is why I was saying about how other
But that's
players
not gonna
feel
matter.
about
That's not gonna-
players in the
That's
West.
not going
If we're in the
to matter as
playoffs,
much.
if Jokic gets eliminated, no one in the West is fearing James Harden.
Here's the difference.
But I
They don't-
digress.
James Harden, if James Harden starts choking, Russell Westbrook is going to turn it up. Kawhi Leonard is going to turn it up. Paul George is going to turn up. It's not like it's not in other years where James Harden is a bust.
You're right.
Who
do the Clippers match up Zion with?
Kawhi. It's got to be Kawhi.
Kawhi.
Is
Yeah,
that
Kawhi-
Paul
smart?
George on
I
Brandon.
don't.
Is
I don't
that
think
smart?
Kawhi's gonna hold.
Is
Yeah,
that
Kawhi's not
smart?
gonna hold him.
His knees
Do
are
you
going
want to do that?
Yeah, you don't.
Do
Do
You're
you
not gonna
want
do that.
to have
They're not gonna
Kawhi
do that.
guarding a player that plays the way Zion plays?
They're not
Do
gonna
you
do
have a
that.
choice?
He said,
And that's where we can get into it. Do you have a choice? And then
RJ,
if you have
you're a
Kawhi,
Russell
if you have
Westbrook hater. Come
Kawhi,
on, man.
if you have Kawhi on Zion, we're leaving Paul George on Ingram.
Yeah.
Have to.
You got to. You
Can
have
Paul,
to.
is Paul George at this age? Can he do both? Can he be a 25-point scorer for you and
Yes.
significantly deter Brandon Ingram?
He hasn't fallen off that
How
much.
significant
At
are we
all,
talking?
At all, really.
It's, I mean, Brandon Ingram in the playoffs has gone off before, so you got to hold him to 20 and under. Otherwise,
He
you
can
have a
hold him
problem
to
on your
20.
hands.
He can hold him to 20.
And
think
get his
Paul-
25?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
I don't know about 25, but 23, 22,
Yeah.
23.
Well, how much do you need? This is a good question. How much do you need from Paul George on a night in and night out basis in the playoffs to win a basketball game?
Not when you have
Hey,
Kawhi Leonard, James Harden,
Clippers
Russell
fans in the
Westbrook. You don't
chat,
need more than
tell us how
22,
much.
23 from him.
Clippers fans in the chat, tell us how much Paul George has to have to beat the Pelicans.
And after that, who's on the reverse side? Who is guarding both Kawhi and Paul George? 'Cause
Herbert
these are
Jones.
playoff killers.
Herbert Jones is going to get in there. I think Zion might be able to stay in front of a Kawhi Leonard. I'm not going to lie.
It
I'd have
won't
to
matter
see
if
it,
he's
though.
hitting all these fadeaways and like
That's what I'm saying.
Well, see, yeah.
Kawhi
Well, listen,
Leonard-
no one's stopping any of these stars. But in terms of the team being able to execute well with these being the matchups, I think if the Pelicans match up Zion with Kawhi, Herbert Jones on Paul George, throw Brandon Ingram in front of James Harden and just put length on him and foot speed. I think what kind of actions are the Clippers going to run? It's going to be straight ISO of Kawhi.
Right.
I mean, you do a James Harden Ivica Zubac pick and roll, and let's say they have Zion guarding Zubac, right? And they go small, right? The switch of between Brandon Ingram and Zion, there's no mismatch there for James Harden, and I don't think Ivica Zubac is gonna win off mismatch post ups. Like they're not gonna win games like that.
Whoa!
I don't know about
he
that.
gets busy in the
That's,
post.
that's a lot of where his game.
You're gonna win a playoff game with a steady diet of Ivica Zubac post ups.
I don't know.
When you say win,
Not
I don't know.
post up, but like the lob.
Part of the offense.
they're gonna adjust.
You're not lobbing over Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram is 6'9" with a 7'3" wingspan. He's not some little guard. You're just throwing the ball over. I'm not trying to say these players are nice. I'm talking about the execution of the action. I think Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson switching a James Harden, whoever pick and roll. I would feel pretty confident in that coverage.
All right, let me say. I got.
There's no one that I think they have that on a post up on a mismatch is about to kill Brandon Ingram for 48 minutes a game. Like,
okay, first of all, Brandon Ingram is not holding Zubac. Zubac is very big.
Not at all.
But are you going to throw the ball down to Zubac 30 times?
This is
a basketball game.
They do a lot of that. You need to watch more Clippers. That they do a lot of that.
I do.
Hold on. Let me talk for a second, right? The thing about the Clippers that I appreciate about them is that they hunt the mismatch almost all game.
Exactly, which is what I'm saying. I don't know where the mismatch is against a certain Pelicans.
I'm
lineup.
saying if they have to go to Zubac 30 times, which won't happen, which will happen because the Pelicans are going to adjust. But if they don't adjust, they will, in fact, go to Zubac 30 times.
But you know what also happens to the Clippers?
Lou.
I watch them a lot as well. Hold on. I watch them a lot as well. Depending on how small and skilled the opposing team goes, Zubac can get played off the floor.
That too. That's too.
So if Zubac has to guard Zion, Zubac is fouling out.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah, that's probably happening.
Yeah, wait, are we sure about that?
Yeah.
No,
What?
not every game, but we're gonna see at least 1 or 2 games.
Zubac do be getting foul trouble.
A steady matchup of Zubac going against Zion. Zubac is gonna get played off.
We saw Zion in the playing game with a bunch of charges. Wait. Hold on. We saw Zion in the playing game.
That was LeBron James as the rotator, not Ivica Zubac.
No, but if you see what I'm saying,
Zion, let me tell you this.
Zubac is a good player. You telling me
let me
he's
tell
not
you
going to
this.
stand in front of Zion?
The Clippers would love nothing
Josh,
more.
I will speak to what's Mason great. The point of this is to talk about where the Pelicans can be successful.
We
know the Clippers can be successful. I'm just trying to point out where the Pelicans could be successful.
Let me make this absolutely clear. The Clippers would love nothing more than to see Zion go waste his time with Zubac because Kawhi Leonard will then, I promise you, because then who's guarding Kawhi Leonard? The playoff killer.
No, but you switched them. I'm saying Zubac having to guard Zion. I'm talking about now the Pelicans, the Clippers' ability to guard. If you're saying the mismatch will come from Zubac if the Pelicans go small, I'll say that's true. But how long? This is my point of how many times you can give it to Zubac. How long can you keep that lineup in the game if Zubac is now having to guard a Zion?
But then they also, Josh put it in the comments. They also have Plumlee and they have
right. So if you put in a Plumlee or Theis who can stay in the matchup better on defense with Zion, those players are not a mismatch on the offensive end for the Clippers, and so you have to find something else, which is where I think the series will go to. I think the series goes small, which I think is going to happen. I think if you have otherwise, or you have to put Zubac on who else in the Pelicans lineup is Zubac guarding? If the Pelicans pull Jonas and go small, who is Zubac guarding?
Okay, I think
it has to be Zion, right? And then he's gonna get played off the floor.
They're gonna go small too.
Yeah. Right. So then you put Plumlee or Tyson, and now you lose the offensive mismatch because Plumlee and Tyson do not become an offensive mismatch and then a switch. So in that scenario, answer the question of then where is the mismatch for the Clippers to find?
Therefore, then it goes to ISO ball, right?
Correct. Right.
And then which roster do you trust more with ISO ball? The Clippers roster or the Pelicans roster?
Well, let's go through it. Let's not ask vague questions. Let's go through it. Who is the ISO mismatch?
No, not me. I'm not talking about
anybody.
I'm not talking about mismatch.
It's not going to be a mismatch, but the Clippers have more players that will win the matchup.
Okay, who?
So
Kawhi Leonard.
We know the roster, man.
No, but let's listen. We're on a podcast. Let's talk.
Yeah, I know.
Let's talk.
I know. I'm just saying. James Harden could still get his own bucket, even though he's a choker.
I think Brandon Ingram's length is going to give James Harden a lot of issues if he doesn't have explosion.
Which
we've seen him lack explosion.
Paul George, even Russell Westbrook, because no six man is locking up Russell Westbrook. He's going to violate in the playoffs.
The Pelicans' success comes down to Zion Williamson, and if he could become a superstar. Yes. That's what it comes down to.
And if he does,
it's a problem. It's a problem.
That's all I'm trying to point out.
Facts,
the potential is there. I think Zion is a matchup buster for a team like the Clippers because they don't have a wing with the kind of size and strength to consistently deal with him. And so he's consistently having mismatches. And then with him being a point guard, if he's drawing these mismatches, the Pelicans have a lot of shooters. And I think Paul George is going to be occupied trying to keep Brandon Ingram in check. And then we're not talking about James Harden on defense having to guard CJ McCollum. CJ McCollum putting the Clippers in a bunch of pick and roll scenarios is going to eat.
And vice versa.
Is going to eat. That's true. But that's why I say it's kind of a wash. Right, I don't see the Clippers' advantage other than you just telling me that Kawhi Leonard is the best player on the floor, which he is. But I would have to then see Kawhi Leonard be the best player on the floor for 4 games to beat them, which he can do. But that's not an easy thing, right? That's an even matchup. If a playoff series comes down to the best player on the floor having to be the best player on the floor 4 times, that means those are 2 evenly matched teams, and that's all I'm trying to get to.
Facts,
right?
Facts. But it all comes down to Zion. If Zion is running around and committing charges, it's not going to work.
I think Josh has put it well.
That's why,
Norman Powell,
ball handler.
Norman Powell
Right.
and PG-13 have to play significantly better than the combination of McCollum, Alvarado, and Ingram. And in the playoffs, I've seen McCollum and Ingram play very well. I don't know if production-wise, the twosome of Powell and PG-13 is going to give you way more than McCollum and Ingram. I think that's what we'd be looking at. I think Zion and Kawhi are probably going to wash. Are we going to trust that Norman Powell and PG-13 are going to have 4 great games by their standards, and they're going to have more great games than McCollum and Ingram?
I trust Norman Powell more than CJ.
Really?
Right now.
Not more
right
than
now,
CJ.
Really?
Right now.
And
Right now,
Alvaro,
yeah.
dude.
Right now. In 2024, yeah. CJ kind of fell off.
And I will say Norman Powell is a big shot maker. He can make timely shots. He can make.
I don't know if
shots.
he's producing more for you on a night-to-night and out basis than CJ McCollum in the playoffs.
That's fair.
I don't know about that.
That's fair enough.
I
don't know if I'm
right?
betting my playoff success on Norman Powell outplaying CJ McCollum 4 times. I don't know if I'm doing that.
And I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if the field is gonna agree with me. I believe in Paul George, man.
I do too. I think he can match or outplay. I think he can match or outplay Ingram 4 times. But like Josh said, I don't know if Powell is outplaying McCollum 4 times.
And why are we so sure it has to come down to Norman Powell and PG-13?
Because like we're saying when even team matchups, it's going to be on how many more players you can have step up and be productive, right? If Kawhi and Zion are going to wash, if Ingram and PG-13 are going to wash, right? Then you're hoping James Harden or Russ go off, or Norman Powell, who really has been the 4th scorer for the Clippers on many nights, right? Versus McCollum going off, or guys like Herb or Trey Murphy III having really good games. And I'm saying, I don't know if I can bet a series win on Norman Powell having 4 better games than CJ McCollum. Now, if you're telling me Russ off the bench is going to produce at a matching CJ McCollum level, then yes, that is where the Clippers look scary.
That's where I'm saying.
We have to see that in the playoffs, though. Russ went off in the playoffs last year as a starter with starter usage. I have to see him in the playoffs thrive in this bench role and give you CJ McCollum production.
Because what happens is when James Harden starts choking, he's going to get that usage up. I don't know if it's going to be starter.
Exactly.
I don't know if it's going to be starter.
Exactly. If James Harden is trying to go out there and be a starter production, and then is struggling because he's not getting any mismatches off pick and rolls because the Pelicans just switch. How many shots are going to Paul George unless we truly see? I mean, not Paul George, Russ. Unless we truly see them do what they do now, where James Harden is doing a lot of drive and dump offs to Russ. Ty Lue is the kind of guy that could figure it out. I just think it's an interesting matchup.
That's what I'm saying. I was starting to say this before. Ultimately, as much as I love Kawhi Leonard and I love Paul George and they're doing great and the team's doing great, I believe in Ty Lue. I really do. And that's where he's going to outcoach the Pelicans and he's going to outcoach a lot of teams. And it quiet as kept, if it comes down to the Clippers versus the Mavs, like I was saying before, they're going to smack them up because I see Ty Lue being able to create the offensive strategies and defensive strategies that are going to make it hard for the Mavs to adjust. This is playoff basketball. This guy has playoff experience and a lot of it.
My worry is that I think the Clippers will have to outscore the Mavericks to win. I just don't see how the Clippers guard the Mavericks.
It's going to be hard. And I don't know.
Like that matchup wise, like I think the Clippers trying to because Luka is a matchup hunter. And if Luka hunts James Harden, if Luka hunts James Harden in a steady diet, right?
And he literally will do it 30
Paul
times.
George can't rotate because you can't come off Kai and you can't come off Tim. So their ability to rotate, Luka is going to find who you rotated off of every time and dime them. Right? So if Luka breaks down the defense, hunts James Harden, and causes a double or an over rotation and a swings to a Kai or Tim, I don't know how you stop that action as a Clipper as the Clippers. Josh, I would love to know your thoughts. Obviously, Luka is the boogeyman to y'all. I don't know how the Clippers guard that action if Luka decides to hunt James Harden.
Where do the Suns
or Norman Powell
fit in there?
Well, we can't just go through the whole West. I'm trying to stay on these middle teams. Like we're talking, we did the Pelicans versus these teams. We're the Mavericks. I want to talk about I want to talk about Sacramento before them, though. I feel like we talked about the Suns a lot. I think Sacramento hasn't been talked about enough.
KD,
But yeah,
yo,
Paul, I mean not Paul, Josh, I would love to know how you feel that you're gonna guard that action if Luka matchup hunts. Because that is what do y'all think while he types? I don't. Yeah, he says they cannot guard Luka. That is the simple answer. Yeah, I don't know. They have to outscore him. I don't know. There's no. They don't have. James. They have too many liabilities.
Which is why the Mavericks
have too many.
Exactly.
Yeah, especially against the Clippers. I don't know about the Clippers smacking them up because I think Luka picks their defense apart because you have James Harden out there, and then if you sit James Harden and go Russ, then offensively you lose that level of facilitation and spacing, right? And you're back in the same issue you had before.
I hate to say it, but Russ today is not that much of an upgrade from Harden defensively,
right?
Anyway, so it's like
Josh says they don't help and they don't rotate and they just let Luka score 50 and make sure no one else goes off. I think that
strategy has allowed them to win several times.
I think it is a good strategy, contrary to what Paul believes, and I think it will work. I think the issue is whose pride is taking that.
That's a fact.
Tim Hardaway's.
They said they were able to shut down. Here's the problem. I think if Jason Kidd is smart in the playoffs, they let Kyrie get a steady diet of matchup hunting. And will the same strategy work? Will the same strategy work if Kyrie matchup hunts?
So those who might be confused at what Ro is looking at, we're live on IG and YouTube simultaneously, simulcast. So looking at the IG comments.
We're everywhere.
But yeah,
in case you didn't know.
Where is KD gonna go after the Suns get eliminated?
Wait, can we talk about the Kings? Why is no one? I want to talk about things that weren't talked about this year. I want to talk about the Kings, and then I want to quickly end with talking about the Cavs. Why is what do we think about the Kings? The Kings were a top seed in the West. They've dealt with some injuries this year, but they're right in the middle of the pack right now. They're 5-5 in their last 10, but they're right outside the play-in. They're half a game. I mean, they're right outside of not being in the play-in. They're half a game out. The Kings, they had two players that could arguably have been all-stars. They have some depth. They have young players that are developing. What are we thinking about the Kings?
I don't know if they've done anything wrong. I just think the level of the competition in the West has increased so much so, particularly with the Thunder and how good they've gotten, particularly with the Timberwolves and how they seem to manage to click together. And also with the Clippers adding James Harden and really allowing like I said, he's a system and he allows their offense to flourish. It has allowed at least 3 teams to get the better of Sacramento. I don't know that they're a bad team, right? They're still in contention, but the level of competition in the West is so increased this year. I don't know if they see the same success level that they did last year.
So let me just point out some of the wins that Kings have, because I think that's very important to look at, is like who they have been able to beat.
That's a fact.
You know what's crazy? And this is why I don't trust the Thunder in the playoffs. The Thunder have a lot of wins. They're second in the West. Every time I point to one of these middle teams, they beat the Thunder.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's why Shea's not an MVP.
That's a strong point. That's a strong point. So the Kings, they beat the Thunder. They beat Cleveland, who we're about to talk about, who's been really hot. They beat Minnesota. They beat Denver. They beat Phoenix. They beat Oklahoma again. They got messed up by Boston, but they beat Phoenix.
Everybody gets messed up by Boston.
I know, yeah.
Everyone except the Thunder, coincidentally.
So they've been able to beat the top teams in the West a couple times. They beat Denver twice.
That's a big hit.
Listen,
that's a big hit.
They beat Denver. They beat Denver and OKC twice each.
You know what the problem with the Kings is?
What?
It's what Kenny Smith said about the Knicks, which was not true about the Knicks, but it's true about them. In the playoffs, they never have the best player.
That's a fact.
That's really what it comes down.
Let's go through it.
Wait. When was that?
I want to go through that.
But Ro just said they still beating the top teams with better players.
But I know what he's saying. He's saying the playoff basketball turns up. But let's go through that. Let's say they make. They
have no more trades to make.
Let's say they stay right at 7, right? Let's say it holds. The top 6 mix up a bit because I think Dallas might jump over the Pelicans, and I think the Clippers and Denver might jump over Minnesota and OKC. Let's say they go at 7. right? Let's say they get 7, the Lakers get 8, right? At 7, they would play in my scenario OKC.
I'm taking Shea. Why I keep calling him Shea?
Why?
Because I think he has a
That's gonna be a
better,
good
a
series.
deeper bag.
In his
than-
first playoffs,
Look. If you're asking me,
they beat him twice.
If you're asking me who the better player is, I'm taking Shea.
No. I'm just trying to evaluate whether having the best
As a
player
team?
in some of these matchups is going to count towards winning. I think in some of these matchups it would, but if that happens, say they catch the Thunder in the first round, the Thunder have the best player. Does that make you super confident they're going to beat them? They beat them twice.
The Kings might
it's
knock
their
off
first playoffs.
Okay. The Kings might knock off the Thunder because it's a bonus.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's one of the only teams where, and I still think that Shea is the best player in that matchup. But
I agree, but I'm just saying I think in certain matchups having the best player may not matter.
Yeah, but in most, like you brought up the one team that I think it won't matter. Name any other team in the West in the playoffs scenario right now. It's
all right. Well, we said let's say Denver leapfrogs the Clippers and gets to 3rd, and the Kings say at 7. We said the Mavericks are a pretty good matchup for them. The Kings have beat Denver twice. Now, of course, Denver has the best player on the floor by far, but there has to be something happening in that matchup that is successful for the Kings. How do we feel?
It's probably because they're going. It's probably they're attacking through Jamal Murray. Honestly,
exactly. Who did they have for Murray?
When Jamal Murray has to guard,
does he have to guard?
He doesn't have to guard De'Aaron Fox.
He might not.
De'Aaron Fox is a problem.
He might not. Isn't Caldwell Pope still over there?
And so the last time they beat,
Caldwell
Caldwell Pope. Yes, but he's been in and
out.
Caldwell Pope. He's been in and out the lineup. He hasn't been healthy that much this year.
Well, now's the time to be injured.
So look, they beat Denver. They beat Denver December 2nd, 123-117. Fox had 26. Sabonis had 15 rebounds and Fox had 16 assists, which means in pick and roll he was tearing them up.
Facts. Yeah. Facts.
The problem, I think,
Jokic did what he did. He had 36. But I mean, okay, it looks like Jamal Murray didn't play that game, so fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, when the playoffs come, the Nuggets are going to turn up, man. Like
they will.
That's what I see happening, and these scrambles are only going to get worse. They're chilling right now. They are vibing. They're trying to. You know what they're really trying to do? They're trying to get to the middle of the pack and stay there, and not have to work so much harder, and not have to. They're comfortable. They are so comfortable right now.
To be fair, it looks like Jamal Murray hasn't played in either of the matchups against the Kings. But why is that, I wonder?
Oh,
you say he should? You saying that he should?
He shook.
That's crazy.
He shook at him. But here's why that wouldn't make sense. So he's ducking. Wait a second. He's gonna duck De'Aaron Fox, so he's not gonna duck Luka? That doesn't make any sense.
He doesn't have to guard Luka.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Then he's ducking Kyrie? That doesn't make any sense either.
Listen, all I'm saying is the Kings.
Fair point.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like,
guarding Kyrie is a different task than like Kyrie might embarrass you, but guarding De'Aaron Fox is tiring.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
I think the main problem with the Kings, I think the main problem with the Kings this year is I don't see they have like the role players like stepping up. I think the role players kind of took a step back.
Harrison Barnes, Malik Monk, Kevin Huerter.
Yeah. I don't
know.
Is
Harrison Barnes having one of his best seasons in a minute though?
He absolutely is. Keegan Murray has taken a step.
Keegan Murray
Keegan Murray is not where he should be. He was supposed to be the third guy on that team. I don't think he's been.
He can't because Harrison Barnes is having the best year of his life.
That's a fact. That's a
fact. What's Harrison Barnes like shooting splits?
I got you right now. He's averaging 12, which is crazy, but he's averaging 48% from the field. What is he from 3? Basically 40% from 3.
This is the best career of his life.
No, I'm lying. But he's having a great season.
He was one of the Warriors though, right? It's a similar stats, right? He wasn't getting that many.
No, when he was in Dallas, he averaged 20 points. So we have to.
I don't think the role players that really
that was
stepping
different.
up
That
how
was
they
on a
should have
garbage.
been, and
That
I
was
think
on a
it's
garbage
part.
Dallas team.
I forgot he played for the Mavs, but
he did.
yes, I don't know. Well, can you look up Keegan Murray?
I mean, Keegan is having a good year. Keegan's averaging 15 points.
But what's
I
his
don't know, it
shooting
might
speed?
not be the role players, man. Look at that comment.
He's averaging 15 points on 46
Is he
from
the
the field,
favorite?
35 from 3.
35 for 3 is not. He was supposed to be that guy. He's supposed to be Keegan Murray. If you listen to the coach talk to him about it, Keegan Murray is supposed to be like a 40%.
I mean, it's his second year, and now everyone knows he's a shooter, right? Like, there's such a thing as a sophomore slump.
True.
There is, but
he's still
that's
averaging
going to be the
15.
reason. A sophomore
And
slump
he's
is
still
going to be the
averaging
reason why
15.
they're not going to make. They may not make it far in the playoffs.
I don't think
Fair
so.
enough.
I think they just don't have any. They don't have the best player in almost every series. Like it's just
They don't.
in the playoffs. It comes down to stars
Malik
and
Monk is averaging
how they make
15.
everybody better. You know what I mean?
That's not wrong. That's not wrong. He's not wrong.
I think they're a little scary. I think they're probably not as scary as the Mavs, for your point. Like, they don't have a player on that level. But I think offensively, I think the league knows that they can reach a level that is it's kind of like the Pacers, where like you're gonna just have to outscore them. And so I think there are some teams on here that will not be able to outscore them 4 times.
But at the same time, the physicality increases in the playoffs, so they're gonna get away. Defenses are gonna get away with more, which is gonna slow them down on the offensive end. Like, those drives aren't gonna be as clear as they used to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
For the
I
year
think
five.
I think you're right. I think they're an interesting team. They're probably not as interesting as the Mavs, would we say?
Yeah. But can I violate KD, bro?
no.
Sure, let's talk about the AC
Right.
Phoenix real quick. Quick in and out pause.
Who? The Phoenix?
Yeah.
Let's get it. Hold on.
Oh, God.
Oh my God. You weren't even supposed to go there. You're supposed to go to Cleveland.
I want to go to Cleveland, which no one has ever said ever, but
Joakim Noah.
You know,
You know it did.
all respect to Cleveland, all respect to my Ohio mandem.
But anyway, listen, Kevin Durant.
Thanks for joining us for this week's Up Now Plan.
Stop it, Kevin Durant. What you said about the Knicks and why you chose not to go to the Knicks?
Oh, this is what you wanted to talk about?
It's
Oh,
the
my
same
God.
reason. Nah, listen to me. It's the same reason that you went to the Warriors. It's the same reason. It might be the same reason that you haven't won since you left the Warriors.
Oh, hey, hold on.
You're making weak comments out here. You're making very weak comments out here.
Said you're
You
a
are
soft
Kevin Durant. You're too
bum.
nice to this.
He knows
too
he's Kevin
nice.
Durant.
You said what?
He knows he's Kevin Durant.
You sure?
told
Because
us.
if he knew he was Kevin Durant, then he would have went to the Knicks and said, "I'm gonna make them cool." He's talking about the reason he said they weren't cool is because they weren't winning. You're Kevin Durant. Go over there and win.
That's not who he is. You know that, right?
Here's the thing. The biggest thing we know about Kevin Durant's personality. He
Darryl said it many
wants
times.
to be comfortable and wants to be around other players that play good ball. He does not want to be the best. I mean, he does not want to be the only guy that knows how to play good ball on his team. He's cool if the team isn't that talented, but he wants to go to work and have coworkers that are competent. And I can't blame him. I know we all can relate. If you at your job and you have those coworkers that simply cannot do their job, and it just makes going to work like not fun.
He wants a talent.
Yeah, but it's not
he
just
wants
it's
a
not
talent.
just it's
No,
not
he
just
wants the
competency.
talent.
It's not
I
just
don't think it's
competency.
that.
He wants a guaranteed W.
Yes.
He wants to go.
Yes.
He wants to
I
go
don't
to
think
the
it's
place.
that either.
No, I do.
I don't
There's
believe
no
that.
other
I don't
reason.
believe
There's no
that.
other reason you join a 73-9 winning team.
We have to stop making that the reference point. We
Yeah.
have so
That-
much
No,
more
but it's
data.
all connected.
We have
No,
so much more
Farrell.
data since then to analyze. Like,
No.
There's-
Farrell.
there's-
Come on. Listen to me. The reason he gave for why he did not go to the Knicks is because the Knicks weren't cool, and they weren't cool because they weren't winning at the time. That's the reason he gave. He went.
yeah, but he's saying it wasn't cool. Like, they weren't playing good ball. It wasn't a cool
He gave
brand.
a reason for it, though. He said it's because they weren't winning. That's why they weren't cool. You're Kevin Durant. You went to the Nets with Kyrie, and then you got James Harden after.
Yeah, but I think you're taking the like him evaluating teams whether they're winning or not as like I want to go where people are winning so that they can help me win. I think he's looking at it as like if you're winning, that means you have a system over there where you're playing good basketball, and I want to be somewhere. It's like
No,
if
no.
you're looking at
I agree
jobs,
with
right?
Pharaoh,
If you're
man.
looking at jobs, right? It's like the difference between some people are willing to go work whatever their profession is at a startup, and others want to go to industry titans. Right? Some people are built to like, yo, I want to go somewhere where like maybe they're not really got it together yet and be a
Yes.
part of helping them grow and get them good. And other people feel like I don't have
Paul-
time for that. I don't
Paul,
have
let me tell you
patience for
something.
that. I want to go somewhere where it's established, is running, and I can go add to that and be great. He's just clearly established himself. He's someone that's like, I don't care to build. I don't want to
just
go
go back to the
somewhere.
Warriors, man.
I don't
He
want to
should just go
go.
back to the
He
Warriors.
built OKC. He spent 7 or 9 years building a franchise. And when he reached middle age, he was like, yo, I don't want to go somewhere and have to build again. I want to go somewhere where they know how to play good ball and just need more
Then
talent,
he
and I can
should
go
have
and
just
be
stayed.
great.
He should have just stayed.
I think
And
I
I
don't know how to
can't
put
knock
this. I don't
that.
know how
I
to put
don't
this.
like the
Right.
Warriors move, but his moves since then have been consistent with like, I want to go where things.
No, they
like,
haven't.
there's-
No, they
it's
haven't.
a
No,
good,
they have
it's a
not.
good
Stop it.
setup.
Stop it. No, they have not.
Yes, yes, it has. Listen,
the Nets didn't have a good setup when he won
Paul
it.
Pierce,
Let Allen
Let
talk.
Allen
Let
talk.
Allen talk.
not Paul Pierce. What's his name? Kevin Durant has consistently showed us over and over again. He don't think the same as us. Just like much for Pharaoh saying, this guy is thinking
Which
about
is a
ball
problem.
all the time. He's all he cares about is like basketball in the sense that like Pharaoh said, I want to play good basketball. He don't think about like his legacy. He don't think about nothing. In the first iteration of the pod, we used to joke all the time. If this guy wasn't like an NBA player, he'd be like
be a
a
bum.
bum somewhere,
He'd be a
like
bum.
doing like whatever. Because all he think about is ball. All he wants to do is have a good time playing basketball, which is why him saying the Knicks aren't cool because they weren't winning is because and they weren't playing good basketball. I believe him 100% because he thinks if they're not playing good basketball, I'm not about to have a good time here. This is why I'm going to the Warriors.
Can I add to that,
I'm about to have
Alan?
a good, yeah, go ahead.
Finish your point, though. I just want to add to that.
So that's why I'm saying I believe him 100% because all he thinks is about is ball. He don't think about legacy. He won't think about winning. He won't think about like where he is. And this is also why he thinks he's like one. He said like what a month ago he talked about it. Where he was just like, why y'all don't like put me up there with your grades?
No,
Because in his mind, I'm that nice at basketball. I don't care about
on-court
what none of y'all are
basketball.
talking about. I'm this nice at basketball. Of course, I'm one of the greatest.
Now, when
That's
you say it
what
like
that's
that,
how he sees it.
I
when
don't
you say it
believe.
like
And-
that,
and I'm gonna add to
that's
that. I'm
actually
gonna add to
hilarious
that. We have
because
to-
he
we
really
have to-
means
we have
that
to-
too with his whole
He
chest.
does. And we have to
100%.
also be real humans and stop looking at these people as 2K players that like when the game goes off, they like don't exist anymore. And if you look at Kevin Durant as a human from what we can perceive at least, right? And I'm going to acknowledge now that a lot of what I'm saying is assumptions based on visibility, but also what he said himself. He has a very different lifestyle than some of the guys we're comparing him to. Kevin Durant is in his mid-30s. He does not have a long-term relationship romantically. He does not have children. He's a very hands-off in terms of his business ventures. He's not on the forefront of any of the business ventures that he does outside of occasionally showing up on his podcast.
All he cares
Right?
about is
We
basketball.
don't know him to have a crazy active social life out in the clubs like a James Harden or anything like that. His life consists of basketball and going home and his mom, right? And whatever hobbies he has at home, which means, right, for a person whose life is like that, that means your day-to-day experience and your contentment in life is
Completely
largely
based on work.
determined by the time, but by the time you spent at your job. LeBron and all these other players, if work is trash, I can go home to my beautiful family, to my beautiful life, my other ventures, whatever, and find my fulfillment, right? And be okay. If Kevin Durant is unhappy at work, his life takes a hit.
Kevin Durant,
So
are you okay?
So I understand when he says like, yo, I want to be in an environment, in a situation where I'm happy playing basketball, where we're playing good basketball, the organization is supportive and playing well, and it's good. That's why the Nets went wrong. It wasn't a legacy thing. He came to the Nets because he saw a burgeoning culture. He knew living in New York City would be lit, and he knew they had new ownership who was serious. And Joe
We got a nice practice facility,
right? He was like, "I'm gonna enjoy being there," right?
Fooling y'all, man.
And when he left is when it became a toxic environment. The culture was messed up. Everything that was talked about with relation to the team had nothing to do with basketball. James Harden was wilding, and the ownership seemed to not really have a grip on what they were doing anymore. They were firing coaches left and right, and he was like, "Yo, like I don't like coming here every day anymore. Like this is not a good environment for me. I just want to play good basketball." So he went to where? Phoenix. Good system, good coach, had some vets, knew what they were doing, had some talent in an area where he could chill out. He's like you keep wanting to put like he's not.
No.
You keep thinking he's this like even to the point of his burner. He goes home and hops on Twitter to talk basketball with fans. Like that's his life.
What is he saying on his burner, Pharaoh?
I'm the greatest ever.
He's talking ish. He's talking ish
About who?
Himself.
To who?
To
fans
everyone.
about himself. What's your point?
My point is the man cares about his legacy and tried to rig the system. He went to the Warriors, not because of everything. He's not no. Because KD fooling y'all, man. He did not go to the Warriors because of everything you said. He went there because he thought he could get a lot of chips. I'm not buying it. I understand everything you said.
Then why did he leave? Then why did he leave?
Because he got tight.
Because he figured out that people don't care about his chips over there.
That's why he left.
Yes.
Nah, this is
so he didn't leave.
The first iteration of the show decided
beef.
that
He had beef on the team. He realized the fan base was never gonna love him the way they love Steph.
That's what I just said. Didn't I just say why don't they love him? Why don't they love him? Because they look at him as a wave rider. He's a wave rider. That's why he didn't go to the Knicks. Everywhere he goes there with all-stars. Except for the Warriors, because they had them there already. He's not going there because of systems. He's going there to win. Don't let him fool you.
So the two teams he chose weren't two programs basketball-wise that were trending the highest in the league over the span of the 2 years
go to the Clippers?
The Phoenix? You think Phoenix was trending? Because he should have gone to the Clippers ahead of Phoenix.
Wait, I'm talking about over a span of years. Over a span of years. Phoenix didn't have some of the highest trend in basketball going back to the bubble.
Yes, 100%.
Yes.
Phoenix as a basketball program was one of the quickest elevating quality programs in the league.
Yes.
Yeah.
Since the bubble, they've been playing some of the best basketball in the league.
Yes, I guess
some of the best coaching.
Hold on, wait a second. Good teams have great players.
Mm-hmm.
So you cannot separate that. Good teams have great. There is a reason why the older generation of players do not just go to great teams in their prime. They will go to mid teams, and then they will build them up because they're not trying to ride a wave. The fan base did not appreciate KD because they saw he's riding a wave. That's why they didn't appreciate him. He went to the Nets. It wasn't working out on the Nets. You could talk about everything surrounding the situation on the court.
Would you have been happy working for the Nets? Would you have been happy working for the Nets at that time? Would you have been?
No, Joe Tsai messed it up.
If you had no home life, right, and your life was just your basketball environment, would you think you would have been happy in life during that time as a
why
player?
does he have to go to the Nets with Kyrie and then puts your heart?
You're not answering the question.
He want to go play ball with his homie.
You're not answering the question, though. You're not answering the question. Would you have been happy? Would you have been happy, Paul Robinson?
If what? If I went to the Nets?
If you were at that time as a Brooklyn Nets player, if you had no wife, no children, no home life outside of your basketball life, would you have been happy as a human?
On the Nets, on the Clippers, on many teams, yes.
You would have been happy as a Net?
Wait, what? Wait, what? If I had no home, if I had no life outside of ball?
Yes, you would have been happy as a Brooklyn Net in 2021 and 22.
Oh, you're 21. I thought you were talking about when he went to the Nets.
No, I'm talking about when he was on the Nets. When he was on the Nets, would you have been happy if you were in his situation?
Not necessarily.
You would have been miserable.
Not necessarily. But the problem is he leaves and goes to another team that he thinks is going to be a number one seed every time.
What would you have preferred him do? I just want to know because then I'm gonna do the happiness analysis on that, and it's probably gonna come out of he probably wouldn't have been happy doing
instead of going to the Warriors, he should have went to the Clippers.
No, we've litigated the Warriors.
No, because that's
we've
what
litigated the Warriors so much, but me and Alan's
there's
point
a reason for that. No, Farrell, you keep trying to separate it though.
Because me and Alan, our whole point has been since that move, we have come off that because he's proven with the next two moves a consistency in the ethos that he tells us. So I'm saying, you saying that he has it in those two moves, those post-Warrior moves. What moves do you think he should have made, if not those two teams?
Okay, now I got to think about. So 21
should have stayed. If he was going to go to the Warriors, he should have stayed with the Warriors.
That's the easiest for me to tell you he would have been unhappy.
No, he shouldn't have stayed on the Warriors. He should not have stayed on the Warriors.
He would have.
Who was nice back then? Who were the nice teams in 21?
Celtics.
That needed a small forward.
That needed us. He could have. Well, he plays power forward now anyway.
We got to think about.
He plays power forward now, so now it doesn't matter. It's positionless
forward. Who needed a forward? Yeah.
I mean, I'll look at the 2019 standings. The Nets were a 6th seed.
No, 21. You got to go to 21, right?
No, when he chose to go to the Nets, it was after the 18-19 season.
Yeah.
So that season, they were 6th.
No. He went there. I thought we were talking about.
He
went there with Kyrie Irving.
Listen to me. The 18-19 season happened. He was a free agent that summer and went to the Nets that summer. So if we're talking about what he was looking at, we're looking at what that team did during the 18-19 season.
They did everything right with D'Lo. He set the groundwork for them.
At the 18-19 season, the Nets were a 6th seed. He went to them that summer.
With?
Yes, he went with Kyrie. Sure.
Why do we keep ignoring the fact that he keeps trying to get players and get all these all-stars together to
why did he go to
Brooklyn by himself? You wanted him to go to Brooklyn by himself?
Why not?
I mean, at that point's not worth arguing. Because who else is doing that? Who else is playing by themselves? Name me one All-Star right now.
Wait a second.
Who's playing by themselves?
If you're as nice as Kevin Durant, you're supposed to be able to look at the Nets as wait a second. No, you're supposed to be able to look at the Nets as they were currently constructed at that time. With Karis LeVert and all those guys. They had a very complete team. All the missing was a superstar. You're supposed to go there and be like,
what superstar is playing by themselves in the NBA today? Name one.
You would have had
Steph Curry, who's not having a fun time.
And he's not having a good time. Thank God he has 3 beautiful children, and a wife at home.
The surrounding.
He might be depressed. He might be going. Matter of fact, he is depressed. How many times have we seen him rip his jersey this year?
That's a fact.
He is going through. He is going through it.
LeBron went to LA with a plan. That's different.
Yeah, that's a fact.
What did he say that year when he had to do that year by himself? I will not be missing the playoffs again. I'm gonna guarantee you that.
It's a fact.
Because he said he was miserable at home having to watch other players play in the playoffs.
Stephen Curry.
I said it. I named it already. I named Steph already, and he's having a terrible time.
He's not by himself by choice.
He only has got to come. The Nets were better back then than the Warriors are right now without Curry. That's a fact.
That's a fact.
If if Curry wasn't on the Warriors right now, it would be like last season.
Why does that matter? My point is that
what do you mean? Why does that matter?
There is no superstar in the NBA playing by them. No, but you're saying you're talking about what you want to do. But Paul, you're talking about what you want to be reality, and I'm talking about reality. There is no superstar playing in the NBA by themselves by choice. So why is Kevin Durant getting held to fire for doing the same thing?
LeBron James set a bad precedent when he went to the Heat.
Oh wait, so you mean to tell me it's LeBron's fault again?
Wait a second. No, let me talk. Then KD took it up a notch and went to the Warriors. So now the precedent has been set that it's okay to just team up with a bunch of guys in your prime, a bunch of all-stars in your prime. So that's why you don't see by themselves. Now hold on. Let me say this. No. Let me say this. I'm almost done. Save the question. Now, you've always had 2 stars on the team. That's not so. This whole
correct.
Hold on. So this whole thing about doing it by yourself. Yes, people don't do it by themselves. You always had at least 2 stars. Once it comes to 3, 4, now it's like, oh, that's some new in your prime. That's new. That is new. You can't act like that's not new. Kevin Durant is not supposed to go to Stephen Curry and Clay. He's not.
Okay, we get it. The Warriors was not.
And then he leaves. He goes to the Nets with Harden and Kyrie. Then he goes with Bradley.
Harden wasn't there.
Bradley, you think that wasn't part of the plan? You think he don't have?
No, it wasn't, because Harden wanted to go to Philly.
Yeah,
and that's been well documented. Harden wanted to go to Philly.
He is right.
He did not want to go to Brooklyn.
So you don't think he was trying to get another superstar? Regardless,
no,
I don't buy that.
He was.
I don't buy that because he went
was.
to the Suns with Bradley Beal and Booker was there. Durant wants to win. Don't let him fool you like he's just trying to play ball.
Nah, I don't think that's fair because that only happened after, they only happened after James Harden became available, and then Bradley Beal then became available as well. Those are happened after the fact. I don't think those are planned.
No, but I think I don't know. Paul might have. These guys are talking to each other. Hold on, these guys are talking to each other.
I know, but it's a wild like assumption that okay, if I have a good team and a great player becomes available, I'm supposed to go. Nah. Like, why do we think that way?
Because if you're trying to be the greatest, I don't let the reason Kevin Durant thinks he's a Hall of Famer because of the winning.
We have to stop this.
What y'all said about
we
him.
Can talk about.
I don't buy that.
Hold on, but Paul, we can talk about your free agency decision, right? And like who you choose to go play with. I'm still with you there. Okay. But when you're talking about when you're on a team and other players become available, the greats of the past were never in that position, so we have no idea what they
didn't Kobe leave Shaq or wanted to leave Shaq?
Time out. But that's not the scenario I'm talking about. We can't group all the ways in which great players come together can't be evaluated the same way, right? Because you just said right if it happens through the draft, then it's fine. Right, those great Lakers teams, those great Celtics teams, when they had multiple All-Stars, Hall of Famers, it was fine, right? Whatever, right? Free agency, who you choose to go to, I'm with you. Hold them to the highest standard because you should be determining what you want to do with your legacy. Now, you already being on a team and what your team does in free agency, like we said in past pods, we don't hold Steph accountable for the fact that he quote unquote let his team go get Kevin Durant, right? Hold on, let me roll. We don't hold Dwayne Wade accountable for the fact that he quote unquote let his team go get LeBron and Chris Bosh, right? But because Kevin Durant did what he did in with the Warriors, now every time talent comes to his team, we're holding him accountable in all scenarios when talent comes to his team. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, but it's his fault.
Hold on, wait a second.
I'm not saying it's not ridiculous, but it is his fault.
If you have a team and your GM says, "Hey, I think I can go get a great player," you're gonna tell him no.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
Yes,
no one has ever done that. Tell me a Hall of Famer that you know ever had an opportunity where the team said we can go get this player and they said, "Nah, I'm good."
Even really quick. A lot of the great players.
Did MJ ever tell the Bulls not to go get Jordan? I mean, not to go get Rodman to replace Grant?
Was Rodman a superstar?
Oh, come on.
No, that's the whole point. No, that is the point. That is
the equivalent, though. Superstars weren't available for trade like that.
But also, superstars weren't available like that. Wait a second.
He never had the choice.
One quick point to add what Pharaoh was saying. One quick point to what Pharaoh was saying. I feel like I've heard Kobe say it. I know I've heard Dame say it when Dame was back on his Portland tip. I don't want to go there. I want to build it here. We've heard multiple superstars say, I don't want to go join another person up, but I will have them come here and help me. Why would a player be like, nah, I don't want no great players here? Just to Pharaoh's point. They were always welcome. They would always welcome other superstars to come to them. Superstars have said this multiple times in the past.
2 max, not 3.
They have never said that. We don't know. I've never heard no one. What do you mean? I've never heard no one limit how many superstars. This is the first time they've been able to see it actually being able to come to fruition.
That's actually
and we don't like it. We don't like it.
But it's not the player's fault. It's how the contracts work, which is going to set us up for next week with the financials. Because you're mad about how the league is operating and you're blaming players. But the players of old that you're holding up as the hardest, as the Dundadas who didn't want no help, they didn't have the option. So we can't say that. They didn't have the option. They never were faced with that choice. There's no history. There's no recorded history of any player back in those days having the option for a great player to come join them and them telling their franchise, no, don't do it. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist.
and this is a very well-rounded conversation because in the beginning we were talking about the competitiveness and the caring about the brand and all of that. We could confidently say that the players from back then, yes, they didn't have the option, but the competitiveness that we saw would have prevented a lot of them from being like, yeah, I'm gonna go
That's
to
projection.
a 73-1 team.
That's projection. We're
Of
not
course, it's
speaking in
projection.
reality.
We all
That's
project, of course.
Okay, but don't
And
take
I'm
that
talking
projection.
about
Don't
projection.
take that projection and put it on today's player.
Why
for
not?
dealing with the reality that they have.
Please, man. No,
'Cause
I'm
this
blaming them. They got choices too, right? They got choices too, right? They want to be KD. You want to be the greatest? Go win a chip without all this help. Go win a chip without all this help. Come on, man.
How you get the help matters. And I think I'm gonna rest my case on that. How you get the help matters, and I don't think there's a lot to critique in the way that Kevin Durant has made decisions since the Warriors because it's been consistent with the ethos he talks about, and in the context of the fact that basketball really is all he has in life, like relatively, like we know he doesn't
Kevin
have these
Durant.
other-
Are you okay?
And Stu, the way he's got help, he's done it the way that you should technically people want to say. Except for you, because you think you should just say no to good players. Wrap up points before we get out of here, because we're gonna transition this to a great conversation next week about how the financials of the league changing has affected how the league operates and whose fault it
Competition in
is.
the league is. Here's my final point. Competition in the league is dead.
Is dead.
Dead. I gotta see it.
That's too broad. Competition is a very broad term.
I'm playing.
Competition is a very broad term. We gotta be specific.
I'm playing. But my biggest thing is, truthfully, I want competition in the All-Star game is dead for sure, and I need to see that brought back. I'm excited to see the Mavs for everything y'all are telling me. I want to see how they pander out. I really do. If this is a different kind of team, this might be Luka's time. But he doesn't
Pelicans too, because we talked a lot of ish in our first episode about Zion. So I feel like as a pod, we owe it. I almost kind of want to mandate we should all watch the Pelicans this week and come back and talk about it because we talked a lot of ish.
You know what? Why not? Let's not.
We did.
Alan.
Out of fairness, we talked a lot of ish about the Pelicans in our first episode. I feel like we owe it to them to come back and talk about them.
Alan, give us access to that league pass. Let's go.
No, I got league pass.
Why you gotta get my league pass?
That's because that's that family ties. He said, "What's yours is mine." My brother.
We already share multiple accounts.
I thought you were gonna say something else. I'm sick.
That's a wild thing.
Anyway, my final point is put some respect on Luka's name, Andre.
Hey, all right.
Put some respect on Luka's name.
Word to Levy Chin.
Yeah.
Yo, check the last comment in that poll.
Just bring back the All-Star game. Bring back real competitiveness in the All-Star game.
Coach Paul, final point.
My final point is this. Competition is not dead, and the reason we think it's not dead is because we have the current superstars. Most of them are playing on teams that are not full of other current superstars. So therefore, it is not dead. We know we appreciate Jokic, we appreciate Giannis because of we rate them highly. We rate them highly all the time because of the fact that they did it without teaming up with a 73-win team.
Jamal Murray is
top Jamal Murray is Jamal Murray is a second.
That's not.
He's a second. Thank you, Andre. Thank you.
Impressive.
Thank you. Man. He's nice, but let's not act like he's Clay and Draymond and
Steph Curry.
Wait.
Jamal Murray. Wait a minute. Wait.
Jamal Murray relative to the league is lower than Clay in his prime was relative to the league.
Actually, I would say so. Actually, I would say
he might be right.
Clay was nice.
Have a great week, fellas.
He might be right. He actually might be right. He actually might be right. He actually might be right.
Jamal Murray don't get no respect. I see it now.
He actually might be right.
He
actually wait. No. We gotta think about this. He might be
so
right.
Happy that Jamal doesn't make All-Star teams. He gets the benefit from this narrative. He knows in his heart Jamal Murray is dead nice. That's crazy.
What happened to both sides of the ball? What happened to both sides of the ball? You don't appreciate that, bro?
Crazy, bro.
Clay Thompson is one of the best two-way stars we've ever seen. Hold on, like he's that's
a fact. That's
in his time period. In his time period.
No. Ever.
In his prime. That man has 52 points with 4 dribbles. Come on.
Not with that much emphasis. Like
52 points with 4 dribbles. and locking the
Yes.
other team up, that's insane.
Yes, the
You know
Warriors
what?
are back. Listen, 2 stars backs. Steph, Clay, boom. That's it.
I want
Don't
to
add
have
KD
lunch.
there.
I want to go eat
Yeah,
lunch.
I gotta go do some things.
Man.
I gotta go
eat
do some
lunch.
things. We'll
And
talk about this.
Cleveland, you're not
We can
going
pick this
anywhere
up next
either. I
week.
don't know
No,
if
we can
Dylan
pick
is-
this up next
I
week. We
don't
can
know.
pick this up
Dylan,
next week.
hold on. I'm cooking. Hold on.
Man,
Dylan.
You said you're
on the
hungry. I got food.
Cavaliers,
I'm gonna
man.
cook right now. I'm gonna make something right now. Let me cook.
Donovan Mitchell does not
Jesus
want to go.
Christ.
He doesn't want to be there. That's why nobody believes in them. They can
Oh,
win
We
all
never
the
even
work.
talked
do
about the
anything.
Cavs. We never
Yeah, I
even got
know.
to talk about the Cavs.
I know.
Because Paul
That's
doesn't
all I had
stop.
to say about the Cavs anyway. We don't rate the Cavs.
Hey,
We don't rate
your
the
point
Cavs.
though, Paul, and I'm gonna dip out on this. Yeah, we rate Giannis and Jokic for being able to get one without superstar help, but that's probably gonna be the reason why they both only ever get one, and they're gonna have to come to the same realization as the other superstars that they want to be dominant and win multiple. You need help, and they probably both not gonna win another one until they get real help. Boom,
Jokic
bada
winning
bing.
this year.
Sure.
Thank you for joining us for this week's episode.
Y'all
of
know
Fast
who it
Breaks.
is. It's been Fast
go.
Breaks. Those.
We out.
They're gonna be tight. Y'all out here defending KD.
And the show.
Stop talking
Come
and
on.
end the pod.
And the show.
All right, my
Come on, man.
Come on. It's fast breaks. Listen. We back with another one.
Fast breaks, yeah, we coming with the takes. Never early, never late, but we always push the pace, yeah. And we really study tape, y'all just view the highlights. Man, we really watching games, yeah. You just watch from the stands. We run 3-man weeks, Paul, Dre, and Allen, yeah. Way more than a fan. We got love for the game. We don't have to pretend. Got it out the mud like you get it off the glass. I'm the run the fast break. Throw me the outlet. Yeah, we got it out the mud like you get it off the glass. Time to run the fast break. Throw me the outlet.